And hello, welcome to Solo Playthroughs. We got a playthrough as Tantrum against Duster today. Should be a good time. Now this is Duster. Wait, the Duster from Undertow? Yes, the same Duster. For those who do not know the backstory of Duster, Duster was a tyrant in the base game before she became one of our beloved gearlocs in the Undertow expansion. I am not flying solo today for the first time in a while. Is it Mrs. Playthroughs? No, it's someone I want to say better, but that would probably be bad to say that about my wife. So I have David here, who is Sarah's cousin. Yes, the same David who kicked my ass in Gaia Project a couple of times, who I mentioned on the channel not that long ago. So he's in town from Seattle, going to be joining us for a little bit. So I'm talking to someone off camera. I am not talking to an imaginary friend. I assure you of that. Let me make sure the mic is set up. Yep. All right. I'm actually streaming live right from the beginning, guys. So we are got the audio settings correct. I'm going to try something new today. I'm going to start pulling baddies out of bags. Not really sure how that's going to work with scouting, but Duster uses all of the baddies, and I do mean all from the base game. Plus, again, I was sent a review copy of Splice and Dice, so I have the Splice and Dice baddies all thrown in here as well. So this bag is the 1 point baddies. I had the 5 point baddies, and I'll go ahead and shuffle up the 20 point baddies. But again, when I scout and when we have a defeated baddie stack, I'll work it out. But that 1 point baddie stack and the 5 point baddie stack were so big, shuffling it was just not worth the effort. So I'm going to try something new. I have actually never done a full playthrough against Duster. I've read all her mechanics. Doesn't seem like there's that much going on in her Tyrant finale, but we'll see. She is a very long adventure. I mean, she's a 13-day adventure, which is the longest adventure, I think, in both the base game and Undertow, if I'm not mistaken. You need 10 progress points in order to be able to take her on by day 13. I only have the base game encounters for the solo game. I have not received my Age of Tyranny expansion yet. That will be coming with my Hoplomachus Victorum Kickstarter, hopefully sooner rather than later along those lines, so I'll have more variety. But we're stuck with the day 1 special encounter, the day 2 special encounter, and the day 3 special encounter. I'm going to go ahead and shuffle up the 12 solo encounters, and we're taking out well, 13 days, so -3. So we're going to need 10 of the solo encounters. So I'm probably going to get that annoying gearloc child, who you all know I love so freaking much. So I'm going to take 2 of these away and just take them out of the game. We have these 10. I'm putting the special encounters, day 1, day 2, and 3 here. And then I also have the Tyrant encounters. Duster comes with 3 of them. So all told, we have 16 cards in this pile. Yes, some advanced math for y'all. I have all the dice. We have the lockpicking dice. We have all the status dice. It does look like a lot. Remember, with the Splice and Dice baddies, there's a whole new kind of status die that has things for confuse. There's decoy. There's a couple more interesting new statuses that were thrown in with the Splice and Dice baddies. Additionally, I'm going to need the treasure die, the loot die, in case we run into a baddie or two that has the treasure keyword. Tantrum's pretty wild. I mean, Tantrum is a child who gets very angry and just decides to assassinate people, as we all did when we were children. I mean, I assume. At least maybe that was just a me thing. But we'll go ahead and we have on the mat, we have our axe collector die, which starts at 0. We're going to want to get some axes when we can. We have the body count die, which would be very important for us to take that up so we can make sure that we stay alive. And we're going to start with our first rage die. So again, the rage mechanic, every time you attack, it ticks up. Every time you lose a health, it ticks up. When you get up to 1.8, I can just exhaust this at any time during my turn to assassinate an adjacent baddie, level 1. A level 1 adjacent baddie. If I get my second rage die and I get it up to 2.8, I can assassinate a level 5 or a level 1 baddie, but we do need to manage this carefully. If we ever get stuck at 2.0, at the end of our turn, we'll have a breakdown, and this goes all the way back to 1.0. So again, managing your rage die, taking advantage of the ability to assassinate is a huge part of Tantrum's game. Playing against all of the baddie types. Again, Duster has them all. She has orcs, she has trolls, she has bog type baddies, she has beasts, and she has scales. The goblins are going to be the worst. I mean, the orcs Those orcs or goblins? I think those goblins. The goblins are the worst because the goblins are the ones that are going to make us lose. They have the mischief, and they're the ones that are going to make us lose one of our dice in our active slot. So if you get a goblin with a high inning meter, well, all of a sudden we lose our rage die. That's going to be rough. So again, when you're playing with all the baddie types, especially with the Splice and Dice baddies thrown in, there's going to be a wide variance in how this game plays out. Don't be surprised if we have a restart after the first couple of days. But hopefully David some good luck here, and I'm going to try to avoid that. I'm going to shuffle up the loot. I have grown less and less impressed with the trove loot over my plays of the base game of Too Many Bones, and more impressed with just the regular loot. Remember, we have loot. We have 4 spots that could take up loot. If one of the loots that we get says heavy, then that will take up 3 of our 4 spots. We'll see if we can get lucky with a good loot or 2 early here. I do find that Undertow makes a lot better use of the loot mechanic than the base game did. And again, I don't know. I feel like you get these trove loots and you spend all this effort over a couple of days, like you're doing the lock picking attempts, and it's like, great, what did I get? And it's like, oh, that's just kind of not that helpful. But you know, it is what it is. Sometimes it's good. Often it's bad. I got into a cycle in my last game where I had that one trove loot that allows you to like reduce your health die by 1 in exchange for 3 health, and I might have done that one too many times, and kind of was just wasting so many training points in the process. So let's get to day 1. So the special encounter on day 1 is leaving Obendar. I have read this on the channel enough. I will not be reading this today, but we will get the story time with Greg starting with day 4. So we have our choice. We can squeeze in some last minute self-improvement, which gives me 2 training points, or we can shake down a Shady Peddler, which will give me 1 training point. I can draw 2 loot, keep 1. I do want the training points. I am playing on Legendary, so I will start with 0 extra training points to start this adventure. Makes the first couple of days a little bit harder, but I find for me it just balances the rest of the game out if you can survive those first 2 or 3 days. And with Tantrum, what I've been doing lately is just taking 2 health because I want as much health as possible. That's really going to help me, especially to trigger my rage die so I can get an assassination in that first day and just make sure I survive that first battle, which will be day 2, and just make sure I survive that. So I'm going to take my die. I'm spending 2 training points to get this up to 2, and then my health will correspond to that. So now it's the innate of a 4 plus 2 more health chips. So I have 6 health on Tantrum going into day 2. Right? Making sure I can count the 6. It's advanced math. Right, let's get to day 2. Hardly out the gate. What are we going to do? Yes, we are going to do option 2. It's time to show Obendar what gearlocs are made of. With Obendar watching, you feel an extra shot of adrenaline as you prepare for an unassisted battle. The battle queue is baddie points. If we lose this, we'll be restarting because we're going to have to. If we win it, we'll get 2 training points and a loot. I did forget the scout at the end of day 1 though, so let me do that real quick. I rolled a 4 so I can scout a 5-point baddie. And we'll see what comes out of here. I mean, if it doesn't have mischief, I'm liable to keep it. Remember, we probably will be facing a 5-point baddie until day 5, depending on what these encounters are. This 5-point baddie is the Dragon Delinquent. It has Engulf, and then if it rolls with Bones, it's weakened 2. Yeah, I don't really want to deal with him, so I'm just going to put him on the bottom of the baddie stack. So I'm just going to put him underneath the bag, and we'll remember that he's there and probably not have to deal with him at all because there are so many baddies in this bag, so I just won't have to worry about him. So yeah, we'll cycle him out of the way because yeah, that's not going to work. Weaken 2 is awful. I mean, Mischief is arguably worse for me at playing as Tantrum, but Weaken 2 could make for a very long battle that would not go well for us. So the battle queue again is baddie points. I'm going to pull 2 1-point baddies out of here. The first 1-point baddie we get is the Grunting Tromper. This is a Splice and Dice baddie. Comes in with 4 health. We're going to give it the lane 1 marker. It is a melee baddie. It is a dual class baddie. It is both beast and orc. No, I'm sorry. It is both. I always forget which is which. The red are trolls. I think the red are trolls and then the blue are orcs. Yeah, I think that's right. And then the yellow are goblins. I think that makes some sense. All right, so we're going to have stout and rating. So if we get another orc type baddie, it will have an extra die. And then stout means that its last health can only be lost by fatigue, which is really, really rough. And since it's fatigue that's going to kill this guy, we won't even get a body count, and we can't even assassinate this dude. So he's going to be a little tough to deal with, but again, he's only rolling one die, but it just means we're going to have a longer battle in this first day than is ideal. We're going to pull another 1-point baddie. We're going to put this in lane 2. Oof, rough. The Goblin Bomber. Goblin Bomber only has one die as well. This is a Goblin, so it's not going to trigger Stout, which is good. Mischief 1, which means they're going to lose the active die. And if it rolls a Bones, it's going to do 1 true damage to itself. This comes into play with 3 health, and it is a ranged baddie. It would attack 2 gearlocs. There's only 1 gearloc on the mat. That's me. We're going to give them their initiative dice. The Tromper. Reading these words sometimes with these new baddies I'm not as familiar with is pretty fun. So yeah, the Tromper is going to go here at the 3, and then the Bomber has an any die of a 5. Oh, I should note, the last 2 Too Many Bones videos I put out, it's been pointed out to me in the comments, when you do a training attempt for defense, if you roll a Bones the first time, you get to re-roll. So it gives you even more of a chance to make sure that you're spending your training points on what you want. That's fine. It's especially useful with Picket when you're trying to get up to 3, 4, 5 defense value. With Tantrum, I started at 0 defense value. Not as big of a deal. But we're in an interesting spot right now, so I'm not going to really be able to do much assassinating, I don't think. But we'll see. I do need to get rid of this guy. That's rough. He's going to make me lose my raised die anyway, most likely. Let me roll my any die. Maybe I'll roll a 5. Oh, I did roll a 5. Look at that. All right, that's better. We'll see if we can get lucky and get up there and kill that guy before he takes away my rage die. So I'm going to put myself here. They're both only rolling 1 die each. That shouldn't be that bad. We should be able to survive this pretty easily. So we're going to start my first turn. I have 3 decks. I'm going to spend 1 point of dex to get up to the Bomber. And now with my last 2 decks, I can roll 2 of my 3 attack die stat. And hopefully I roll a 1 and a 2. I rolled a 2 and a Bones. Well, not great, but it's going to have to do. So this would tick up to 2. It's not going to matter though, because I'm about to lose it. And I could exhaust this now to get 2 Bones, which would give me a calm down ability. It's not going to matter. So I'm going to do 2 damage to the Bomber. Bomber is going to unfortunately survive that though, and then it's now its turn. It does Mischief 1. I lose my rage die, and it attacks me with 1 attack die. Maybe it'll roll a Bones. It does! Careless 1. True damage. The Bomber kills itself. Made life a little bit easier there. I'll just put the defeated baddie stacks up top. And now I'm going to get attacked by the Tromper. The Tromper is going to be really annoying. Oh, and since the Bomber killed itself, I don't get the body count. The Tromper rolls 1 die. It does 1 damage. And again, if my rage die was not taken out so rudely, that's when I would go ahead and I would take it up for losing that 1 piece of health. We're going to go to round 2. My problem now is I have no defense dice, right? I could get up to recoup, but ultimately I want to run around a little bit because I know that this guy can't actually be defeated until we get to fatigue rounds. But if I move away from him, I can't roll any dice unless I'm actually adjacent to him to attack him. So I'm kind of in this weird quandary. He's only rolling 1 die at a time, and I got to make sure I have a lot of health left so I survive that first fatigue round myself. So this really, with the Splice and Dice baddies, really do add a lot to the game, because it just gives you a lot more tactical things to think about. Like Decoy is super interesting, Stout super interesting, but sometimes it's like, no, I did not want to see Stout in this first round for sure. So I'm going to take these 3 dice and I'm going to attack the Tromper. And we'll see what he does to me the first couple of rounds and how much I really need to run to make sure I survive until fatigue. So I roll 3 dice. I do 4 damage. So that takes away 3 of his health. He's down to 1 health, so he will die during fatigue that first round. So I just need to survive until then. I rolled no Bones, but it is what it is. I was hoping to get up the Axe Collector or recoup, but rolling only attack dice, that'd be really hard to do anyway. The Tromper is going to roll 1 die against me. It does 1 damage. I'm down to 4 health. We go to round 3. I have 3 decks. I'm just going to move into this corner. The Tromper is going to move 2, 1, 2. We go to round 4. Going to get attacked again, but it's not a big deal. Yeah, I'll go 1, 2, 3 and stop there. The Tromper attacks me with 1 die. It rolls 1 damage. We go to round 5. I'm going to get up into this corner. 1, 2, 3. Tromper moves 1, 2. We go to fatigue rounds. I lose a health and the Tromper loses a health. So I'm down to 2 health left, but I survive. The Tromper is defeated. And we now get our end of battle rewards. Super exciting. Ding, ding. So I get 2 more training points and I get a loot. Let me take the loot first. Mechanical Assistance. Increase your dex by 3 for this turn. It's single use. As soon as I use it, I lose it. This bones will come out, and my 2 training points, I want to use them on what? Well, I really like the Like a Kobold skill. I just think that can be really, really important, especially as we get into these 5-point baddies. The cripple and the strengthen are also really interesting. I mean, cripple, just being able to say, hey, this baddie rolls 1 less die could be huge. So the way the cripple works is you roll it, and it's a baddie active. So you would either put it in your active stat, but then as soon as you're next to adjacent to a baddie, you can put it on the baddie, and then their attack stat is actually reduced by 1. If you get the strength, then it's the other way, that your attack stat is actually increased by 1 for the battle. And then if you actually, there's a certain thing on there, if you roll, you immediately get attack stat training attempt. C. Scott Kippen, what are his abilities again? What's up, Scott? How are you? Whose abilities? Are we talking about the Tromper, or are we talking about Tantrum? Because the Tromper had Stout and Rating, if that's what you're asking. So, what do I want to do? Let me do the I'll take Like a Kobold, and I might just take another health. Or do I really... Or I could get a dex and a defense die. Let me get a dex and Like a Kobold. I think that's going to be a little bit better. I'll have another training point after the next day too. So my dex is up to 4, and Like a Kobold will go there. I'm going to put my rage die back in here. And now we're going to go to day 3. Now I should have a die up there. Again, we need 10 points to get up to our friend Duster. And we have 2 progress points. So we're 8 away. Let's go to day 3. The Crossing the Sabran. I've been doing 1 a lot. I mean, I could do 2 and get myself a trove loot, but I think the extra progress point from 1 just still makes the most sense. So, yeah, I don't know. That trove loot's just not all that helpful in a solo game. So we're going to tuck my ears and walk like a commoner. I'm going to roll a d6. I rolled a 1. My party, it's like potty, just a very different word. My party is spotted. Find the first Tyrant encounter in your deck and place it on top. I have the 3 Tyrant encounters here. I'm going to randomize 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I rolled a 4. So this will be our next encounter no matter what, in a fog. So that's a little rough. Don't love Tyrant encounters on day 4 for sure, but I do get 2 progress points, so I'm up to 4. And I get my 1 training point, which, considering how that roll went, I think I get another health and get me up to 7. Oh, I would have used my end option to get back to full health last turn. And if I get another health now, we're going into day 4, 4 1-point baddies. I could roll a defense die, but that probably is silly. Yeah, I'll get up to 7 health, so I'll spend that 1 extra point. Just really try to get Tantrum's health up there. It makes that rage die, just maximizes the chances that they'll be really useful. Yeah, the trooper. Yeah, cool. Yeah, it's from the Splice and Dice expansion. So again, it's just a stout, which means that his last point of health has to be lost by fatigue, which just means that you have to get up to um, the final battle. I love this Splice and Dice, the Splice and Dice Master reference for all the various skills. I think it's really well put together and just makes having this and then Undertow and now the base game. And I guess there's more skills that come with 40 Days in Daylore. So I'm looking forward to obviously getting that content. I'm going to be getting a ton of Too Many Bones stuff in about 2 months with all the Hoplomachus Victorum stuff. So, alright, so now I have Tantrum up to 7 health, and we'll see how this Tyrant encounter goes for me. I'm not the most confident here, for sure. So, Tyrant encounter in a fog, day 4. The fog is suffocating, with no ability to see more than a few feet away. It's easy to imagine seeing Duster's face everywhere. That scar, that dagger. The council can't be trusted, you know. The words are nothing but a whisper, but they are loud and clear. Fog, suffocating, zero vision. She's right here, but she's nowhere. Maybe the fog is playing tricks with sights and sounds. They're cowards, or they'd come for me themselves, like the first time. Mere seconds pass, and the fog lifts. Wandering into a wolf den is usually ill-advised. Yeah, I'd say so. Alright, anyone here have some leftover bog meat? The battle queue is baddie points. Create the battle queue using beast-type baddies from active or defeated stacks, as many as possible, then use other types. So, if we win this, we get 1 progress point, 2 training points, and a loot. That could be really nice. During the battle setup, we're going to place party members in gearloc melee position. So we're going to place first. So I'm going to go here to gearloc melee position. And then we bring out baddies to gearloc range positions only. After setup, go back to normal battle queue positions. I really hate how that's worded, but basically what I understand about to say is all the initial, so basically we walked into a trap. All the baddies are going to start here, but if there were additional baddies in the baddie queue, they would then be added like they would be normally, right? So it's just worded really awkwardly. But then baddies have surprise, which just means I'm probably not surviving this. Yeah, that's going to be rough. Baddies have surprise. That means we're going to be at the bottom of the battle queue no matter what I roll. And I don't think that's going to be a good situation for me. So let me get some beast-type baddies. Yeah, Scott, that's why I didn't know that. Yeah, it's definitely an interesting thing. So I'm gonna have to pull a lot of 1-point baddies here. I don't even know how many beast type baddies there are. All right, we have the Griffin Yearling. Yeah, I think this is gonna be a big L, but we'll set it up anyway. So this goes in lane 1 in a range position. There's a Griffin Yearling. It has 2 attack dice and flight. This is a beast type baddie. The Swampkin Monkey, or Swampkin Monkey, maybe if I'm going to get attacked, I probably should have gone here to make sure all 4 couldn't attack me, so just to pretend I did that. We're going to go lane 2. He's also rolling 2 dice. It has flee, so he'll leave after the second round, and he'll take my loot if I have any. He's also stubborn, so if I kill him, he would actually have a turn before he leaves. Again, that's another Splice and Dice special. This is not going to go well. We have the Direwolf Pup. Direwolf Pup will get the lane 3 marker. It comes in with 3 health. We'll put it over here. I wish he was actually on my side of the board. So Lashback 1 there, and then we have the Neanderthal. The Neanderthal has Confuse, another Splice and Dice baddie. Place Confused die on target. If the effect is already there, remove it. The unit's attack and defense stat are switched. If I survive the first turn, that could be useful, but I don't think that's gonna be very likely here, and I'm probably gonna have a breakdown because I'm gonna lose so many health as it is. So those are 4 beast type baddies. I'm just gonna shuffle these 2 back in the bag, and by shuffle I mean just put them back in the bag, and we'll have this. So let me set up the innie dice. We're going to have the Griffin Yearling in lane 1 has an innie of a 5. The Direwolf Pup in lane 3 has an initiative of a 3. And again, baddies have surprise. The Swampkin Monkey has an initiative of a 4. That will go there. And now the Neanderthal has an initiative of a 3. But that's lane 4, so we'll be behind the direwolf pup. We're going to carry out their turns. The griffin yearling is going to move 1, 2. Oh, he cuts off the monkey. That's good. Maybe we have a chance. So I'm going to put my rage die in place. The griffin yearling is attacking with flight. At the end of the unit's turn, place a flight effect die on it. If this effect is already there, remove it. When in flight, this unit is untargetable. So rolling 2 attack dice against me. It does 3 damage, because of course I rolled a 3 for it. I lose 3 health, and that ticks my rage die up to a 6, or up to 1.6. I lost 3 pieces of health, so 1.2, 1.4, 1.6. We now are going to go for the Swampkin Monkey. Swampkin Monkey can get to me up there, so it's going to move 1 and 2. We now do the direwolf pup. Direwolf pup's trying to get there, so it moves 1, 2. And then last but not least, the Neanderthal is going to roll 1, 2 dice. It's rolling a defense dice and an attack dice. Bam, does 1 damage. That ticks me up to 1.8. And it has 1 defense die on there, but it also confused me. So now my stats are switched. Which is interesting. There should be a flight die up on here. That means I can't target it. Now note that the assassination ability of the rage die, that is not a targeting thing. You just execute. So I basically, even though it's in flight, I am magical and I can, in my rage, clearly jump high enough to execute this griffin yearling. But I don't know if I want to execute it yet, because then I'm going to open up a way for the Swampkin Monkey just to come in and take me down. But I definitely need to have the troll attack me again, so I lose my confused die. So, Scott says, I thought Hop was slated to fulfill late summer. Yeah, that's probably right. It's probably wishful thinking. I think the original estimate was like the spring, but I think they got delayed. I know Burn Cycle just fulfilled, and then they just announced their Elder Scroll game, so they got a lot going on right now. Chip Theory, and then they just had obviously the Unbreakable campaign was a huge success, but I'm sure they're trying to figure out how to get that all working together. So hopefully, we get Hopmakus before too long, because just like, I love these gearlocs, but I would also like the 8 more that are supposed to come my way. Not even counting the 6 in Unbreakable, which is bananas. All right, I still have a turn actually. Ugh. And again, I'm confused. So my attack stat is literally a 0. But it means I have 4 decks, so I could roll like a kobold and 3 defense dice, which isn't crazy, and then I could actually, if I assassinate, I'll have a body count of 1. So let me do that. I'm going to exhaust my rage die, assassinate the griffin yearling, get my body count up to 1. I'm going to, take that life force right away and get a health. So the fact that I lost exactly 4 health chips was actually really helpful. And now I'm going to roll 3 defense dice and my like a kobold die with my dex of 4. I got an axe. Ooh. And 2 defense. About to lose this mechanical assistance loot, but I had nothing else to roll, so it didn't matter. So I get a bones. Do I take the axe, or do I try to get something better here is the question. I have a bones, 2 shield. I can kill the monkey and then hold on to my mechanical assistance. Yeah, let me do that. He'll still come in and punch me in the face, but at least I won't have to worry about losing mechanical assistance. So I'm going to take the axe roll from the like a kobold. That ticks my axe collector up to 1, and now I can attack a non-adjacent. I can do 2 damage to a non-adjacent baddie. I'm going to do the 2 damage to the monkey. He's out. It does give me +1 to my body count, which again I could have done that. Oh, yeah, I could have done that at any point on my turn. So I'll just take the other health now. And now he's stubborn though, so before he leaves the mat, he's going to have a full turn. So he's going to move and he's going to attack me with 2 dice. He does 1 damage, so I lose my 1 shield, and now he's gone. Alright, so this worked out way better than I thought it would when we started, for sure. And now we're going to do... So that was the end of my turn, right? Right. Awesome. We go to round 2. So this has cleaned out quite a bit. So we lost both the monkey and the yearling. First up is the direwolf pup. Going to move 1, 2. The Neanderthal already has a defense die on it, so it's going to roll this 1 attack die. Scott says, yeah, last year I went nuts and bought all the Too Many Bone stuff. You and me both, sir. You and me both. Except for Splice and Dice, which again, Chip Theory Games was kind enough to just send me a copy of, which has been really nice to have some more variety with these baddies for sure. So rolling 1 attack die, and I'm going to lose my confused die, fortunately. So 1 damage to me. The shield's going to come out, but I am no longer confused, which is good. My turn. Let me see if I can't go ahead and just kill this dude. So I'm going to roll 3 attack dice. I have no defense die anymore because I'm no longer confused. And I have this 1 dex. I think I want to take out the Neanderthal first if I can. So hopefully I get a good roll here. 4 damage. That loses the 1 shield, and the Neanderthal is out. My body count goes up to 1. So that worked out well. And now we go to round 3. Neanderthal die comes out. The direwolf pup is going to move 1. It attacks me with 1 die. Does 1 damage. I'm down to 4 health. Remember, the direwolf pup has lashback, so I will attack it and hopefully get 3 damage. I'm going to roll 3 dice. My dex is 4. I do 2 damage and a bones. That gets the direwolf pup down to 1. He lashes back, knocks 1 of my health off. Next round, it's either round 4 or round 5. I might have forgot to tick that, but it's not going to matter. Direwolf pup attacks me with 1 die. It does 1 damage. My turn, I'm rolling 3 dice. And, oof, 2 more bones. Oh, that's a beautiful roll. 2 bones and 2 damage. So I kill the direwolf. Well, before I do that, I'm going to take out the bones. Axe Selector, I get 3 axes. And then I'm going to apply the 2 damage, kill the direwolf pup, get my body count die up to 2. That was bananas. So we managed to win. Yay, Tantrum with the 7 health. Comes back. This goes here. So I'm going to get my 1 loot. It is a fortunate discovery. Select one of your consumable dice and place it in its spot on your mat. It is now available for use. Shots on the house, says Patches. I would take a shot from Patches. I'm sure that would be super healthy. Put this cobalt thing here. Rage die back in the 1 slot. These will go here. And now I also get 1 progress point, so we're up to 5. And we're going to now have 2 training points. Eric J says I did that during the Splice and Dice crowdfund. So much stuff. Yup. What was it like? It was like the no pun included review when he tried to go through all of Too Many Bones in one video, and like, no wonder why you didn't like it, dude. Like, you just can't. Like, this is not a game where you can play all in like 2 weeks. Like, you have to like let it breathe. There is a lot going on here, and there's a lot of gearlocs and a lot of content. So I don't know. I just thought it was like a very misguided attempt at a review of Too Many Bones. All right. What am I doing? I need to get 2 more training points. What do I want, guys? I kind of want to keep ticking this health meter up. It's working for me so far. Let me get my first defense die. I have to train. I roll 0 dice and I succeed. Good. Do I get another health, or do I start doing this cripple thing? 7 health's a lot this early. I could do like a worm. Like a worm could be helpful, especially if there's baddies with like break, or baddies that have, dodge. Because like, again, all these suckers are in here. Although I don't have the undertow baddies in here, so probably not as much dodge, but definitely some break. I'll take like a worm. Again, like a worm allows me. I'll roll it and then I'll put it there. And if I can choose when I'm hit by an adjacent baddie, I can place a number poison effect on that baddie, and that would basically, so if I get like a worm 2, I put him in active spots. When I lose a health because they attack me, I can just put a poison die. So if I have worm 2, then it would become poison 2. Again, poison 2 ticks down to poison 1, so ultimately it would be three true damage on that baddie. I did that, and I put an actual defense die there instead of the stat, which is funny but not correct. So that was a huge turning point for the campaign. The fact that I was able to win that makes me very happy. We go to day 5, 5 progress points. We're halfway there. Whoa! No comments. We're good. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So I have 12 things left here. I'm going to roll a d12. I rolled an 11. Did I really? Why? All right, another tyrant encounter. If we went 2 of these in a row, it'd be a miracle. All right, Mercy of the Lost. In retrospect, following this blood trail for 3 hours may not have been the best idea. The lure of scavenging some loot off an unfortunate traveler was too much to resist with the stakes this high. Oh, and then my end of round options, I'm obviously going to take my health back. Cool, up to 7. Stakes this high, but make no mistake, a lot of time has been wasted. Finally, however, the source of the blood has been found. She's doubled over in pain, wincing and breathing heavily. Get away from me, Duster wheezes. Tunic stained crimson from the bleeding, Duster clutches at what must have been a serious wound, or must be a serious wound to her left side. I don't need you. I don't need anyone. You're nothing but pawns of the council. She's a gearloc. We help our own, so I can get a training point if I can heal her 2 hit points using loot with the ability to heal. If this can't be achieved, I must take the other choice. Yeah, I cannot heal her. That's really unfortunate. So we're going to do the second thing. Yeah, I have to use loot. Body count wouldn't work. Using loot with the ability to heal. That's terrible because that's another training point. I would have liked that. So we're going to have to do a battle. What if this was her plan all along? Is it a trap? While pondering that thought, another comes to mind. Where did she go? The battle queue is Baddie points, which is just 1 5-pointer. So this should be pretty doable. Again, we already scouted this freaking dragon delinquent, so he's out. We're going to do this. It is... wow. It's another Splice and Dice Baddie. I swear these things are thoroughly mixed. So it comes in, it only has an any of a 2. It's going to have the lane 2 die, or the lane 1 die, any of a 2. Stench 2, Poison 2, Careless 1 if it rolls a bones. It rolls 2 attack dice and 2 defense dice. It is a Wiser Golden Troll Ultra. Okay, it is a bog type baddie and a troll. It comes in with 5 health. And we're going to put it in a melee position. Woo! Blake Light says, finally got my copy of Spirit Island. I've been watching a lot of your playthrough. Thank you for all the content. You are welcome, sir. Spirit Island. Man, I like too many bones. Spirit Island has a special place in my heart, for sure. Yeah, tons. I think I have like 50 Spirit Island videos on the channel out of like the 200 and something I put up. It's a lot of Spirit Island content there. It's really, Spirit Island was a big part of my channel growing, and it was just really kind of fun to watch. But yeah, that game is just awesome. I'm going to roll my any die. I rolled a 4, so I do go first. The poison 2 is going to be rough. If I make myself hardy, that would be nice. That means I can only lose 1 health a turn. So even if he poison 2s me, that's not going to be the worst. Stench is a super interesting thing. So Stench, when defeated, you place a Stench effect die, treat as untargetable obstacle. When Stench is placed, all adjacent units to this die are immediately dealt true damage equal to the number. So when I defeat that dude, I'm taking 2 true damage right away. I still have my axe collector, but I don't feel like running around and trying to do 2 damage to this guy. And the axes don't do true damage, so he's going to have a bunch of defense. So I think I stay next to him and try to knock him down to size right off the bat. So I have 4 decks. I'm going to roll 3 attack dice. I have my rage die there. I'm not going to be able to assassinate him with that, but it will give me some bones, so maybe I can turn that into, either a recoup or maybe if I can get my innate, that'd be great because it'll help me prevent breakdowns for the rest of the campaign, the rest of the adventure. And I will roll. My dex is 4. Do I want to roll a defense die? Not really. He's only rolling 2 dice. But if the poison, that could really add up. That could add up. I have the Horn of the Zerker. The Horn of the Zerker is a really interesting die. So it has the reusable bone, which is nice. It also has this disable side, so I can basically make all his skills go away. No, I'm sorry, it's just a stun. Does stun take skills away, or did it make him lose a turn? Yeah, it just loses this next turn. So it actually, I'm thinking of disable. Horn of the Zerker. Also can mess with the innie. Yeah, Horn of the Zerker is probably not going to be that useful right now. Alright, I'm going to roll these 3. I don't want to use mechanical assistance. It seems like a waste. So let me do like a kobold and hope I actually give myself hardy for a round. Here we go. These 4 dice. Oh, I bonesed out on the like a kobold die. So I'm just going to put that back and not take that result. But I get 5 damage. Oh, I killed it. I rolled a 2-2-1. Nice. All right, defeated. So because of Stench 2, we put a Stench die there. Stench 2, I immediately get 2 true damage, but I survived, and he's dead. Great. I just one-shotted the Ultra, whatever the heck this dude's name is. That was a really fortunate roll. So 2 Tyrant encounter is done. So that 5-point baddie will go in a defeated baddie stack over there. We can take this die off. I would have ticked up to 1.2. Who cares? And now I just get 1 training point and another loot. What's the loot? It is a Tawaran gem. Merchants will offer you a trove loot chest in exchange for this gem. Replace this card with a trove loot during your recovery phase. This does not take the place of your recovery phase options. The rarest of gems in Daylore. Gilly's been gazing into it for hours. She hasn't blinked. Boomer's journal. So I'm going to put that out, get a trove loot. In the recovery phase, I'm going to get my last 2 health back. Oh, this body count die will tick up to 3. So I have 7 health here. I have 1 training point I can spend. I will try to train my attack stat because I think now that we have these 5 pointers out, having 4 attack will be really nice. I boned, so that was a failure. Failure! I'm going to try to get... Do I try to get 5 dex, or do I go for my 8th health? Let me get another dex. I just think it will give me more options between the defense die, the like a kobold, and the like a worm. In the recovery phase, I still have a trove loot attempt, so I'm going to roll the loot dice. Again, I need a lever 1. I did get a lever 1, so now I'm going to try to get a trip 2. I got a trip 3, so now I need a force 5. Something tells me I'm not going to succeed. Yep, failed. We're good. But I did unlock 2 of the 3 locks, so I need 1 more lock. Hopefully I get that unlocked next round, but force 5 is far from a gimme, even with 2 attempts. Scott says Tantrum is the only gearloc I kind of know. Yeah, Tantrum's great. Tantrum's my favorite because he's just so zany. And I think he's just mechanically interesting. From a pure mechanic standpoint, though, I think I'll take Stanza. Like, if you have Undertow, like, Stanza is a really interesting puzzle. The way you're kind of balancing her focus and getting her different songs to play. I just find that the way they pulled that off is super interesting. Duster is probably my up there too mechanically. I think just trying to work her with Nightshade, and she's very, very strong in a true solo game. I get 1 more progress point, so we're up to 6. And we go to day 6, so we only need 4 more points before we can take on Duster, but I'll probably mess around for a little bit longer because this has started really well. I really want to beef Tantrum out. I want his dex up, I want his health up, and we got a lot we can do with Cripple and Strengthen. The rest of these dice, whatever, I also will want to get that second rage die at some point. I think that will make sense. The next progress point I get, I should probably try to get that next rage die up because we will have a number of 5-point baddies, especially in this battle against Duster. So day 6, I have 11 things left here. 5, 6, 7. Cool. I'm gonna roll this. I rolled a 10. Did I? No, I didn't. All right, missed it. We're good. So one more Tyrant encounter. We did not get that one. Definitely rolling some high numbers. A dire situation. Oh, this is going to be tough. My desire to sleep is clashing with my fear of being eaten by wolves. These torches only burn for so long. Must stay awake. How jolted from my involuntary slumber, my sleeping gear becomes a tornado of chaos as I scramble from under my blanket. A few dying embers flicker weakly in the expiring fire, giving just enough light to see nothing at all. I look up to find some moonlight through the trees when my view of the night sky is suddenly eclipsed by the evil glow of two huge yellow eyes. As I slowly stand, my stomach turns as I realize I'm still only half the beast's size as best. I desperately fumble through my belt for a weapon that's not there, and the dire wolf looks hungry. So I must find my weapon. Baddie Q is a 1 point and a 5 point wolf. Cannot use skill dice until after the first 2 rounds of battle, or I must find my pack. Baddie Q is a 1 point and a 5 point. Can only use skill dice for the first 2 rounds of battle. And the only means that I just wouldn't be able to roll normal attack dice. I'd have to roll like a worm, like a kobold, the horn of the Zerker. Baddie, yeah, that's definitely up to 3. I don't think I need skill dice, but it means I can't use skill dice, which means I wouldn't be able to use the axe collector. I wouldn't be able to up the body count because they would just basically not be there. How does that work with the rage die? Oh, that's interesting. I don't know how that works with the rage die. I don't know. And it's the ambiguity. I one day I'll get used to the ambiguity of some of these things. Can only use skill dice the first 2 rounds. I have 5 decks. I mean, I could run around for 2 rounds. Just make sure, get like a kobold out, like a worm out. That might make more sense, to be honest with you. Get a horn of the Zerker. Get a bones. Could stun everybody. Yeah, I'm not, just because I'm not sure how some of these interplay with those instructions, I'll take the second option and then we'll just kind of make it work. So I need to find the 1 point direwolf. I know there's one more in here, so I'm just going to dump these out off camera because there's a lot of these suckers. Oh, look at this. It's a very attractive crew of baddies over here. All right, we got the 1 point direwolf. These will go back here. I need a 5 point wolf, who's awful. Oh my god, so much signal and decoy and badness. Oh my. Where are you? There we go. Of course, it's like the last one I look at. Alright, put all these suckers back in the bag. Done. So the 5 pointer is going to come into the battle queue first. So he's going to have 6 health. Lashback 2, he goes there. The direwolf pup is going to go second. Has 3 health. Melee position is going to go there. I can't use attack dice, so I'm just going to stay over in this corner with my 7 health. And I'm going to roll my any die. I rolled a 4, so I will be first, which is super nice. Again, you can break the tie in any way you want, so I could choose to allow the direwolf to go first, but that would be really bad. So the direwolf has an any of a 4. The direwolf pup has an any of a 3. One of the things I really love about Tantrum 2 Solo is that his any die is just really, really good and makes this a lot more palatable. You have so many less chances just to get like one-shotted before you even have a turn when you're playing as Tantrum. So Tantrum's going to go. I can only use skill dice. So I'll be able to use them after the first 2 rounds of battle, but I can't use, again, attack or defense dice in this first 2 rounds. So my first 2 rounds, I'm going to move here. I have 4 decks left. I'm going to roll like a kobold now would not be that useful, but I might just roll it just because, and we'll see what happens. If I get like 2 rounds of like a kobold, that could be really helpful. I could, and the direwolf's attacking with 4. I could use my axe. Yeah, that makes sense. So I'm going to use 1 dex to move. I'm going to use the axe collector, move that down, and do 2 damage to the direwolf pup. Remember, the axe collector die maxes out at 3. So it was already at max. So I tick that down to 2. It did 2 damage to the direwolf. Again, you can only use the axes on non-adjacent baddies. And now my last 4 decks, I'm going to roll the Horn of the Zerker, like a worm, and like a kobold. I could stun both of those guys. Yes. Sure. Like a kobold is not worth it. I'm going to use Disorient All. I place a stun effect on all 5-point baddies or less, which is great. That will make sure I don't get attacked at all in the next couple of rounds, and then I can get an axe from Like a Worm. Sure, I'll get my axe back up to 3. I didn't take Like a Kobold, and I lose. Again, Horn of the Zerker is a consumable, so since I use this as opposed to reusable bone, I'm actually going to take that out. Hopefully I'll get that back later, and I'm going to stun both these suckers so they just won't have a turn. Can I find the stun effect die? Yep. And yep, so that was a very good roll. We go to the direwolf's turn. He loses the stun effect die. We go to the direwolf pup's turn. Loses the stun effect die. We go to round 2. My turn. I'm going to now use... Could move 2 and use it like a kobold, but, you know, probably not worth it. I'm going to tick down my axe selector die and just get 2 more damage off the direwolf. I'm going to now roll like a kobold, see if I get a 2. I got 1 round of being hardy. I'm just not going to use that. That's all I'm going to do on this turn. The direwolf's going to move 1, 2. The direwolf pup's going to move 1, 2 and attack me with 1 die. It does 1 damage. I take up to 1.2 and lose a health. We go to round 3. I'm going to tick down the axe collector and just kill the direwolf. So I don't have to worry about those 4 dice coming in and something weird happening. My body count goes up to 4. Body count die maxes out at 5. Direwolf's defeated, and now I have 5 decks. I'm going to roll 3 attack dice and 1 defense die against the direwolf pup. I rolled 2 bones. I get 1 shield. I did 1 damage. The direwolf lashes back 1, so my shield comes out. Since I attacked, I get up to 1.4. The direwolf now attacks me. The direwolf pup, I should say, because his, parental figure is no longer with us. Rolling 1 die, does 1 damage. I lose a health. I get up to 1.6. My turn in round 4. I'm going to roll 3 attack dice and 1 defense die. Did not roll any bones, unfortunately. You know what? I was probably going to... Yeah, because the N plus 1 wouldn't have worked for me. I'm wondering if I should have exhausted this. Nah, it's fine. We'll just do it this way. So I could have just exhausted this before I rolled to get the axe collector. Because you remember, now this is going to tick up to 1.8. So... Yeah, we're good. We're just going to... I could either assassinate it or apply the 4 damage. Either way, direwolf up is dead. I get up to 5 there. Yeah, strategically, I probably should have exhausted that die, gotten this axe collector back up to 3 before I ended the round, but not that worried about it. Pup is out, and we are going to get another progress point. We're up to 7. We get another loot, just a regular loot. It is the Reinforced Buckler. Add 1 defense die to each of your rolls this turn. Oh, this is permanent. This is amazing. This is not restricted by a defense stat and does not cost dex. It's heavy, so it would take up 3 of my stats. Of course, it makes you look tough. Your tombstone will read, looked tough, went down in a hurry, patches. So I will have to drop one of these suckers, and I'm tempted to drop the Trove Loot, although the Mechanical Assistance is a single use, so I'm going to drop that. Again, this is permanent and heavy, so it takes out 3 of my stats, and now at least I'll have a chance to open up this Trove Loot and see what's going on there. Like a Worm's going to come here. This goes here. I have 2 training points. I'm going to get my second Rage die. Worst case, I just use it for health, so it's a really important die. Everything comes out of my active stats and my bone and my backup plan. I have one more training die. I think I get up to 8 health. Just kind of really chasing this health meter. I want to max that die out, I think, before I do anything else. By the time I get to the end of this, is what I meant to say there. Especially if I have the second reach die. So I'm at 8, 5 dex, 1 defense. Well, really another defense. Oh, actually, before I take the health, let me try to train my attack stat. I succeed, so I will not take the extra health. So I'm still at 7, but my attack stat is at 4. Duster has limit, so having a die in all 4 slots here is really important when you finally get up against her. End of the round, I did heal up to full as my option, and I'm going to try to do this trove loot. So my lockpicking attempt, I need a 5 force. 3 force, and then I can re-roll. The die most likely to give me force is going to be this gray. I got +1 force, that gives me 4 force, and that failed. So I'm going to be able to do another lockpicking attempt since I did not successfully open any locks this turn. I have 1 force, and I can turn this 1 trip into 1 force, but I failed again. So that was disappointing. We're now going to go to, we get 1 more progress point? Nope. Am I lying there? 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. No, we already did the 7. Shrai says I need to get this game to the table. Yeah, Shrey Sharma. Sorry if I butchered the first name there. Sorry about that. Scott says played a handful of times, still have never gotten Trove Loot. Yes. Yeah, you're not missing much, man. It's interesting. I just find them a little underwhelming for what they are, or they could actually really derail your game in a way that's probably not great. So, they're an interesting wrinkle. Again, I think the loot in Undertow just improved a lot over the loot in the base game, especially. So 4, 5, 6. Yeah, so we're up to 7. So that's right. And then my training points, I think I did those all right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, so that's all good. We now go to day 7. All right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. So here's the thing about loot. Like something like the Reinforced Buckler, this is what I would expect to be in the Trove loot, right? This is a really strong card. There's a couple of cards that I just find so good that you just find them as loot, where it's like I didn't have to work at all to get that beyond just like flipping over a card because it was a reward. So I just feel like the balancing between the Trove loot, which you have to work for to actually open up, and some of the regular loot is a little bit off. But again, it's just part of the zaniness of this game. It's a feature, not a bug. Or it's a bug and we just call it a feature. I don't know. One of those two is correct. You can choose for yourself. Let me change these dice out. So that 7 goes there. I'm going to roll a d10. I rolled a 10. We get all the Tyrant encounters, kids. Awesome. Shadow Pack. Go back to Obendar and burn it down. You have no idea what you're trifling with. Duster materializes out of the shadows and casually leans against the Zelfree tree that has clearly seen better days. The scar on her face glistens in the moonlight. How can a scar look fresh and decades old at the same time? The yellow, beady eyes of the dire wolves are visible between the tree trunks. I don't want to kill you, but I will stop you at any cost. Without another word, she waltzes back into the shadows. She's gone. Her wolves are not. I just killed all the wolves. What is Okay? So there's no running away. So I can get a loot. Battle queue is baddie points. It'd be a 5-pointer and 2 1-pointers. But then since I'm a party of 1, I would have to add another 5-pointer to the top of the baddie queue. Or any chance they're friendly. Wolf. You offer your hand to the largest wolf in order to let it sniff you. Choose 1 gearloc to roll a d6. If I roll a 1 or a 2, the wolf takes your hand and leaves with it. Permanently reduce 1 gearloc's health stat by 3. Yikes. Or the wolf is caught off guard by your boldness and leads the pack away. If I roll a 3 through a 6, but it gives me another training point, which is probably better than the loot, but I mean, the way I roll, like I'm sure to roll a 1 or a 2. I don't know. It's silly. It is another training point though. So if I fail that, I can just get my health stat back. I could use the additional training point to get one of those two back, but that just seems like a really bad idea. But otherwise, I'm facing 2 5s and 2 1s, which also seems like a really bad idea. I don't want to risk it. Sure, any chance they're friendly. I'm not going to roll a 1 or a 2, or I am going to roll a 1 or a 2, and I'm going to regret this, but I just feel like it's a lot of setup for a battle that I might lose. I really want that progress. And I don't know what's going on. Hold on, Trovolute is either minor or totally game breaking, not much in between. Yeah, that's totally right, Eric. And Scott, is that you, Shrekage? Alright, cool. Shrek Rage. Oh, whatever. Battles are fun. I'll roll to see what I would have rolled, but I'm doing the battle. I rolled a 1. Yeah, good thing. I'm doing the battle. Great. I know how I roll. It's not good. So we get a... We're going to have 2 5-point beast types. So we're going to have to pull these one at a time until I get beasts. That is a beast. Oh, it's an owlbear. Oh, that's awful. Yikes. So we're going to have an owlbear. Owlbear is going to be in lane 1. Oh, we have to add another 5-pointer to the top of this. So it's actually not going to be lane 1. So that's going to be the first one I would have pulled. I'm going to get another 5-pointer that we would have added to the top. Not a beast type Baddie. Not a beast type Baddie. It is a beast type Baddie. Oof. It's a sonar troll. That's also awful. This is not going to end well, kids. But it's probably better that I didn't lose 3 health points the other way. So I need beast type baddies from the 1-point bag. That's a bog type, troll, orc, troll, or bog, troll, orc, scales, orc, bog. There we go, another griffin yearling. And for lane 4, goblin, troll, bog, orc. I mean, I've killed a lot of beasts already. There we go. And that is a orc withers, which is a dual type baddie. It is both troll and beast. Great. So lane 1, we have the sonar troll. Sonar troll is awful. Sonar troll and owlbear combined is just a really ridiculous 1-2 that is basically going to mean that I should just totally punt this because I don't think I have a chance of winning it. But I do have this reinforced buckler. We'll see. Not hopeful here. The griffin yearling has 2 health in lane 3. That's melee. The owlbear is melee. And the orc withers is ranged, has 4 health in lane 4. I'm gonna... I can kill the yearling with the axe collector. I have this 5 health here. I just don't want to like go through all my stuff and just basically... You know, there's something about a strategic loss in this game that I don't do enough. Let me see what my any die is before I place myself, doing the proper order of operations here. I rolled a 4, which would put me first. Oh man, I'm going to go all in and I'm going to lose this and I'm going to be upset. The sonar troll is a 3. The owlbear is a 4. The griffin yearling is a 5. So the griffin yearling is actually before me, but that's fine. I'm going to be able to kill it with my last axe. The fact that I didn't get to 3 axes at the end of the last round is going to come back and haunt me. And then this dude's a 3. I can put myself anywhere. The owlbear has Inspire, which means he's going to give the sonar troll an extra die. Oh. Inspire 1. So the owlbear needs to go, man. Inspire 1, the next Baddie any meteor takes their turn immediately and is granted a number of additional attack dice. So I just think I need to go hard against this owlbear. But by being adjacent to it, I'm going to get attacked 4 and then another 4. Oof. That's going to be rough. Alright, we're going to go here. I have, which means the Griffin Yearling is going to reach me and roll 2, so I'm going to go here instead. This rating, are there other orcs? No, there are no other orcs. These are all beasts. Most of the beasts are not orcs, and then, yeah, the blue are the orcs, that's right. So we have a beast troll, we have a beast, we have a beast, and we have a beast orc, naturally. The Griffin Yearling is going to go 1, 2, it's going to have a flight die on it. It cannot be targeted. My turn. I'm going to tick down my axe collector to 0 and kill. Oof. I'm going to have to do it. I'm going to waste a body count because I'm already maxed out here on the body count die, but that's fine. Yeah, it doesn't go to 6, does it? No, it doesn't. So I've killed the Griffin Yearling. Again, you can't target it when it has the flight die on it, but you can absolutely do things that don't require a target. So the Griffin Yearling's out. And then there were 3. I have 5 decks. I'm going to move 1. Oh, this rage die should be here. I have 4 more decks. I'm going to roll like a kobold. 3 attack dice. The Terrify stat's awful. Like a worm. And the Reinforced Buckler allows me to add a defense die that does not cost me dex. So, oh, but I moved 1. Yikes. So I can only do 2 attack dice. I think, again, with the Terrify skill of the Owlbear, the problem that I have that is once I attack it, I'm going to be terrified, and I cannot attack it again. Yeah, so it will be on me to the end of my next turn. So as soon as I attack it once, it means I can't attack it 2 turns in a row. So if I can actually get some, like a worm skills, get this poison up, I actually have to take damage. So this extra defense die might actually not be helpful. Might not be that helpful. Oh, the Orc Witness has returned too. God, all these extra. There's so many keywords. Kids. Return. What does return mean? Return means that this is not the last baddie defeated in this battle, placed on the top of the battle queue and defeated. So yeah, killing him is a waste of time. But he's only rolling 1 die. I don't really care about him. He's really the least of my concerns. This owlbear is awful. I can't. The sonar troll can't die until fatigue. Yeah, I think this is the best I'm going to get. So let me roll these 5 dice. Ooh, okay. Like a worm 2 will go into my active slot. I have 1 defense die. Oh, no. I'm not going to use this defense die. Just not going to apply it. I'm going to have this like a kobold. So the next round I can only lose 1 health a turn. I get ticked up to 1.2 because I did an attack, and I actually rolled 4, which is absolutely sick. So I did 4 damage to the owlbear, and I get a Terrify effect on me, which means I can't attack the owlbear. Again, I can't attack a baddie with the Terrify skill, but the owlbear is basically going to die because of the poison 2 I'm going to put on. So that was a huge roll, rolling very well when I needed to today for sure. The owlbear is now going to attack, and it's attacking me with 4 dice, but I'm hardy, so I can only lose 1 health. It does 3 damage to me. Nope, reduced to 1, so I take 1. I lose 1 hit point, but now I'm going to exhaust like a worm and put a poison 2 on the owlbear. The sonar troll goes immediately because of Inspire 1 and actually rolls 4 dice, not 3, but I am hardy. It would have done 5 damage instead of just 1 because of hardy. Since I just lost 2 health, I should be ticked up to 1.6. And now we have the Orc Witness's turn. The Orc Witness is rolling 1 die. It does 1 damage. Hardy would have made it only 1 damage anyway. So I lose another health that gets me up to 1.8. We go to round 2. Owlbear is going to be defeated. Sonar Troll can't be defeated until Fatigue, and the Orc Witness has to be the last one defeated. Otherwise, he just keeps coming back, and he's got 4 health, so that's just a lot. My turn, I'm going to... Oh, he can't be defeated until Fatigue anyway. Oh, it's so dumb. So my Rage dice aren't going to be helpful, but I can get up. I just can get some extra health from the Rage 2.0 die, so I'm going to do that. I'm going to trade out the Rage 1.0 die for the Rage 2.0 die. I lose my Hardy ability. I have 4 health left. I have 5 dex. I think I wipe out... Yeah, that makes sense. I'm going to wipe out the body count down to 0. Because this is rolling so many dice against me, and get myself back up to 7 health. That's weird. So I'm going to move. I have my 5 decks. I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. With my last dex, I'm going to roll 1 attack. No, 1 attack doesn't make sense. I'm going to roll 1 defense die, and then the buckler allows me to roll an extra defense die. I got 3 defense. That was a good roll. I did not attack, so that does not tick up. I lose the terrified die. The beginning of the owlbear's turn, I'm going to trigger the poison 2. The owlbear is defeated. Since I did not directly defeat it, the poison defeated it. I do not get 1 for the body count. This guy's out. Inspire never triggered because I did the poison first, so that's good. But now the Sonar Troll is still going to attack me with 3 dice. It does 6 damage. That's a big roll. It's great. So, I lose 3 health. I lose my 3 shield. I lose 3 more health. And since I lost 3 health, I actually tick up to 2.6. That's not great. I have no... I was trying to get the health there. I just can't execute it. Oh, that was a bad roll. I should have just come here because I wasn't attacking it. Yeah, since I didn't attack him, I'm just going to come here. It's a little revisionist history, but there's no reason to get attacked by this dude. I didn't even roll an attack die against him. I was just trying to get further. Actually, I just moved over here just to get more distance. No, I'll stay 1 away. It's fine. So the Orc Witness just moves 1, 2. It does not attack me. Alright, we go to round 3. Because I was initially thinking about attacking the Orc Troll, Sonar Troll, but then I realized he had thick skin 1, so there's no point to do that. My turn, I'm going to exhaust the 2.0 die to get 3 health. My problem is my whole mechanic of getting my body count. It's going to be hard because neither of these guys are going to die until we get to Fatigue. And I won't even get a body count off of him. But if the Sonar Troll keeps rolling 6, there's not much I can do about that, kids. The 1.0 die comes back. I mean, I could just assassinate this dude. And then just know he'll come back, but I don't know. Round 3, so I have 3 more attacks from the Sonar Troll, which is going to be super rough. Oh, if I get this up, I can get the recoup maybe. If I get enough bones, that will give me 4 more health. That will help. I'm going to move 1. I'm rolling... I have 4 more decks. I'll roll these 3 attack dice, 1 defense die, and then the Reinforced Buckler gives me another defense die that doesn't cost me dex. Alright, I got a bones. Since I attacked, this goes to 1.2. I did 3 damage. Thick Skin absorbs the 1, so it's down to 2 damage. So the Sonar Troll is down to 2 health. I got 2 defense. Sonar Troll is going to attack me with 3 dice. Didn't roll a 6 this time. Rolled a 4 though. So I lose 2 of my shield. I lose 2 health. And then this ticks to 1.6. I lost 2 health. Sonar Troll is going to attack with 1 die. 1 damage. This goes to 1.8. Which is unfortunate, because if it was a 1.6, I could get the bones I needed to do a recoup action. I don't think this is gonna work now. Yikes. My turn in round 4. And assassinate the sonar troll, the orc witness, to get rid of him. Scott says 4 attacks sounds bad. Yeah, it's not good. It is not good. Yeah, I'm going to exhaust this to assassinate the sonar troll, just to... I'm sorry, the orc witness. He's got return, so he's just going to come back next round, but that's fine, and he'll come back with the first open lane, which was the 3. And I'll keep the 4 health on him. But at least I won't have him attack me this turn. So that is done. I'm going to roll... I'm just getting... The sonar trolls has been rolling really good. But I have 2 defense, 3 attack. Would like a lot of bones here. Or some really strong defense. 3 defense will do. That attack's going to let me get the sonar troll down to its last health. Sonar troll is attacking with 3 dice. Please stop doing more than 3. 2 damage. I lose this 1 shield. And that's 0. This is not restricted by defense stat. It does not cost dex. Am I still limited to only putting 1 defense die up here is a question. That I don't know about the reinforced buckler. I don't know. I would assume not, because it would basically defeat the purpose. And the number of times I have to Google stuff about too many bones when I play. Reinforced buckler, defense dice, and active slots. To reduce the number of possible defense dice to roll. Ignore defense. It seems... You can always, that's crazy. Yeah, so you can actually always roll a defense die at the reinforced buckler. So even if I had, so even if I have the 1 there, I can keep adding because of the reinforced buckler. That's actually really strong. All right, sorry, I just wanted to confirm that. While we were here, so he does the 2 damage. Again, I lost my shield too, but I did not take any more damage. Thankfully, because that is going to give me a little bit more of a chance here. We go to round 5. The orc witness comes back onto the battle mat. Of course he does. He comes in at the bottom because he's a 1-point baddie. My turn. I mean, I think I just attacked the orc witness. I get to add a defense die, and I roll 3 attack dice. So again, my defense stat is 1. I have 1 die here, but the reinforced buckler always lets me roll another die and slot it into an active stat, which is nuts. So I'm rolling these 3 and 3 attack dice and this 1 defense die because it's a reinforced buckler. I do 3 damage to the Orc Witness. It has 1 health left, so they would both die of fatigue as long as I can survive. I get 1 more defense. The Orc Sonar Troll is going to roll 3 attack dice. Please don't get really good numbers. Rolls 3. I lose 2 defense dice and 1 health. And as long as the Orc Witness does not roll a 2, I'm in good shape. It's a 1. I lose 1 health. We go to fatigue rounds. Sonar Troll loses the health, is out. Orc Witness loses the health. It's the last baddie on the mat, so that's out. I lose a health. I have 1 health remaining. And woo! That was ridiculous. Alright, Owlbear and Sonar Troll defeated in the same round. Life achievement unlocked. I get no body counts for that because they were both defeated by fatigue. I have 0 axe selectors, but who's complaining? So obviously my special recovery option is just going to be getting my health back. So we're just going to do that right now. We're going to get 1 progress point that gets me up to 8. So we're 2 away. I get 2... No, I get 1 loot because I used option 1 here. So the loot is a Fortunate Discovery. My problem is I can't get the Fortunate Discovery because we're stuck. So I'd have to give away the Trove loot to get the Fortunate Discovery because I wouldn't have the 5 slots. I only have 4 and this takes up 3. So as much as I like the Horn of the Zerker, I think it's more important to see what this Trove loot is. I really don't know, but I have high hopes. And we only get 1 training point here at the bottom. I will spend this 1 training point on more health. I don't know. I like the health. Get a dex, 4 and 1. No, if additional dex is going to be all that helpful for me. Maybe it's time to start this intimidate and this cripple stuff. Cripple, -1 attack stat. Way of the Wild doesn't seem as good. Allows me to disable, disabling stuff with some of these. I feel like I've seen like all the Splice and Dice baddies at this point. Let me get the... This comes back here. The 1.0 technically comes back here, but it's going to start around there, so I'll just leave it. I will get the cripple. Especially with Duster's limit ability, I think cripple and strengthen will make some sense. And I do want to get some more health points, but we should have enough time for that to happen. So this is out. We go to day 8. Meeple says, my god, this game has beautiful components. Oh, yeah, it's pretty nuts. It's nuts. Alright, so we have 9 cards here, I think. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. I'm rolling the D10. Where are you? There are no more Tyrant encounters. We've done them all. So, no more. Don't ask for any more. We're done. Not so ordinary water. At last, a stream of liquid trickles from a crack in the ravine wall. I've been running for what feels like hours with a nasty gash in my side, and the water instantly renews my strength. That was no ordinary merchant camp back there, and I paid for my stupidity before I could flee. This spring also is not so ordinary. A strange yet welcome sensation is present as the water runs through my system. Instinct tells me to wash my wound directly, and instantly the bleeding stops. Maybe I should set up camp and allow this water to do its work, but who else knows about this spring? Have I distanced myself enough from those swindling merchants? So stay here for the day. We have to face a battle queue of baddie points is 8 plus a 5-pointer. We get 5 hit points on my prep area to use as buff HP for this battle. Now if you lose health from buff HP, that does not help you with your rage die. Bottle some water and keep on moving. You may keep this loot. This card is a loot. I don't have the room for loot. Oh, I need to do my my lockpicking attempt. By the way, do I get 5? I get 1 force, but I can reroll a die. I'm gonna need the 3 force and the +1. 2 force. I get the reroll a die. Is there any force on here at all? There's 2 force. All right. Hey, 5 force. You ask and you shall receive. Yoink. The Minor Patch Kit. So backup plan extension, I could spend 1 bones to get to heal a gearloc for 1 hit point. Ooh, that's a good trove loot. I like that one. Quickly heal up those missing limbs and other minor injuries. Patch kit. Nice. All right. So I definitely don't want loot. I can't fit it. I'm not getting rid of the reinforced buckler or the minor patch kit. Oh man. I barely survived that last battle. But sure, let's battle. It's fun. So baddie point is 8. We don't have to worry about beast type baddies, so it's going to be anything. So we're adding a 5-point baddie to the battle queue. So there's going to be one 1-pointer that we will not see. So, and that's going to be at the bottom. So I'm just going to put a 1 here. Let me get some dice. Where are my dice? I have extra dice somewhere. Here they are. So battle queue, we still have a 1er that's going to come. So there's a 5-pointer, and we're going to add a 5-pointer. So that will be in lane 2. That's the feathered dragon, weaken 1, of course. And on top of that, it's going to be an aggressive geophage who has treasure and stout. Oh, interesting. Okay, that's an interesting combo. We got 2 1-pointers coming out. It's a bog frog, poison 2. That could be rough. And a troll youngin. So the aggressive geophage is going to come in. It's lane 1. This is another Splice and Dice baddie. Stout means its last health has to be defeated by fatigue. So that's another long battle that we're definitely in for here. We got this feathered dragon, which is pretty awful. Comes in with 7 health. Man, some of these 5-pointers from Splice and Dice are just vicious, and I keep pulling these Splice and Dice baddies right out of the top like it's my job. That's there. We're in round 1. Lane 3, we have this bog frog, 4 health. That's a melee baddie. And lane 4, we have this troll youngin, 4 health. He's got careless. Least of my concerns. We'll do this dice. The geophage has a any die of a 3. The youngin has an any die of a 3. The feathered dragon has an any die of a 5. And the bog frog has an any die, if I can find it, here we go, of a 3. Alright, making sure the audio is still good. This is right. I need to roll my any die. Roll a 5. Yeah! Asking you shall receive. Tantrum's any die is a 3, 4, 4, 5, 5. So it's 3, 4, 4, 4, 5, 5. So it's, again, really, really good. Oh, man. Stout treasure, thick skin 1. I mean, honestly, after surviving against that last dude, I am not that worried about it. Oh, I had 4 attack dice last turn. I was only using 3, which is fine. Obviously worked out. It wouldn't have mattered because none of those dice would die until the end anyway. I got cripple. Cripple could be great. This weaken 1 is not great. Especially with the daze. Dazed and confused. I'm first. I think I try to get the kobold out again. Take advantage of the feather dragon not having any defense. I had the reinforced buckler. Can roll cripple maybe. I get the, and don't forget, yeah, that's helpful. I get 5 buff HP to start. Oh, that's really nice. Again, it's going to make it harder to get my rage die up, but that 5 buff HP, I was like, something feels wrong. I should be getting something better. Yeah, that will really, really help. All right, let's see what happens. I'm going to move 1. I have 4 decks left plus the buckler. I'm going to roll 4 attack dice, take advantage of the fact that I have this buff HP, and then I'll try to roll the kobold next turn. So 4 attack dice, and then the defense die I get from the reinforced buckler. I want to get maximum damage done on this dragon. Ooh, do I chew the like a worm? Try to get some poison on there too. Yeah, I'll do that. So I'm going to roll like a worm, 3 attack dice, and a defense die. So I'm using 1 dexterous to move. This was my other 4 dex, and then I get the 1 defense die because of the reinforced buckler. And I need to start getting this body count up really quickly. So I rolled, ugh, 2 bones, 3 attack. So that gets reduced down to 4 from 7. I did not get like a worm, but I did get an axe. Only baddie I can use that axe on right now is this bog frog, which isn't that crazy. Not the roll of dreams. About to get attacked by 6 dice. This ticks up to 1.2. Yeah, I'll take the axe just because it would come in handy. And that's my turn. We now do the Feathered Dragon's turn. He's going to weaken me 1, so my dex is 1 less next turn. And the Feathered Dragon is rolling 3 attack dice, 2 defense dice. And if it rolls a bones, I am dazed, which means I won't be able to move. Right? Place the daze. Unit cannot move this turn. Alright. Did not roll a bones. Got 3 defense, did 4 damage, so my hit points, my buff HP is down to 1. And I am not dazed. But I am weakened. The aggressive Geophage is rolling 2 attack dice and 1 defense die. It does 2 damage. I lose 1 health. I lose my last plus HP. I lose 1 health here. That takes me up to 1.4. And it has shield 2. The Bog Frog is going to move here and here. And now the Troll Youngin is rolling 1 attack, 1 defense. If it gets a bones, it does 1 damage to itself. It does. So 1 true damage to itself, 1 damage to me. That ticks me up to 1.6. Ooh. We go to the next round, and now I got some decisions. So this dude still has 4 health, which is going to be really hard. I'm weakened, so my dex is virtually a 4. This crippled die. The Bog Frog poisoning me too would be really bad. Use the Axe Collector move, kill the Bog Frog. Gets me a health that way. See if I can't get like a kobold. This starts triggering up. Get the ability to ooh, that was a 1? I think that was, no, it was a 2. I think it was a 2. Ah, man, that Feathered Dragon is bad. Alright, I'm going to roll Cripple. I'm going to move 1. I have 3 decks left. This is from the Reinforced Buckler. Well, first I'll use this axe. Reduce the Bog Frog down to 2. I can't deal with that 3 true damage. It would not go well for me. So we're going to move 1. I have 3 decks left. Well, 4 decks. Well, yeah, 3 decks left. I had 4. I'm going to roll like a kobold 2 attack dice. Definitely need like a kobold to trigger. All right, so I had 4 decks. I moved 1, get these 3, and I get these 3, and I get the reinforced buckler for 1. I could use a backup expansion to heal 1 too, which is probably smart. Again, you can use your backup plan once a turn. Please get in there like a kobold. Nice. So 1 defense, 2 damage. I kill the bog frog. So I was definitely gambling. I wasn't going to bones out on one of my attack dice. Since I killed them, we have another 1-point baddie that's going to be coming in next turn. Bog frog's out. Like a kobold goes there. And I'm going to use my backup plan to get 1 health because of the minor patch kit. Since I attacked, I go to 1.8. I attacked twice, lost 2 health. Gives me back to 6. I get a 1.8, and I'm immediately going to exchange that for my 2.0 die. Probably going to end up trying to use the 2.0 die on the dragon and just assassinate him instead of trying to get through those 3 defense. The first roll, when the like a worm didn't hit, it just seemed like it was going to be a losing proposition. But I should be in a pretty decent shape with like a kobold, and we'll see if he rolls a bones. If he rolls a bones and I'm dazed and I can't move, that's going to make life a lot harder for sure. But have to see how that goes, and we'll see what this last baddie is over here too. Great. We're going to now go to the feathered dragon. The feathered dragon is rolling 3 dice. Does not bones. It does 3 damage. It becomes 1 because of like a kobold, so that goes out. I get up to 2.2. Could just take that for health. See, the feathered dragon's done. The geophase is going to go down 2. It's rolling 2 attack dice. Again, it doesn't roll the defense dice because they're already on there. Notice the geophase also has treasure. So after it was defeated, I could spend the dex to just immediately roll the loot die. But there has to be another baddie on the mat, because otherwise, if he was to be the last baddie and he died based on stout from fatigue, it's immediately over. So it's kind of a hard thing to pull off, and honestly the loot die is not going to be that helpful to me since I already have my loot area maxed out. So rolling the 2 attack dice from the geophage, 2 damage becomes 1. I lose a health, go to 2.4, and now the troll is going to move 1. It rolls an attack and a defense. Does not bones, gets 2 shield, 2 damage becomes 1. I get up to 2.6. I lose another health. Alright, we go to the next round. Another 1-point baddie comes in. It is the Kobold Tracker. Oh, by the way, body count gave me 1 to my body count. The body count should have went up since I defeated the... Wow. This is really awful. Kobold Tracker comes in round 3, and it's hardy, so it's rolling 3 dice right off the bat. That is awful. Yikes. I don't think this is going to go well for me. So it comes in at the end of the inning meter. Has 2 health. And it's rolling 3 dice. And I have no axes. That is not the baddie I wanted to see. Which is, again, why I'm like, I'm not going to pull those out until I pull them. Because it's hard to like know which side is up, which side is down. So I'm just going to pull them out when I need them. But that's awful. He attacks with 2. He attacks with 1. I'm weakened again because I did get attacked by that dude. So I have 4 decks left. Well, let's see what happens. I'm going to go 1, 2, 3. I have 1 dex left plus the reinforced buckler. So I'm going to attack the Kobold Tracker. See how this works out. So attacking the Kobold Tracker, I freaking bones on my attack, which is super bad. But since I get another defense, again, my defense stat is still only a 1, but the reinforced buckler allows that to be legit. The hardy skill would have gone away. Since I attack, this goes to 2.8. I'm going to immediately exhaust that, put the 1.0 die in, but that allows me to just assassinate the feathered dragon, which makes my body count go up to 2. Oh, I bonus on that attack. It's really bad. So that tracker is going to be around for a little bit longer. So I have 2 attacks there. I'm going to exhaust the body count to get 2 health. This weakened die can come off. And I'm going to use the minor patch kit to get another health there. Ooh, okay, Feather Dragon is out. The Timid Geophage is going to go 1, attacking me with 2 dice. It does 3 damage. Oh, of course it does. Both my shields go away. I take 1 damage from that, which takes my die up to 1.2. The Youngin goes 1, 2. And then the Kobold Tracker is attacking me with 3 dice because this is the 3rd round. It does 2 damage and boneses. The 2 damage takes me up to 1.6. And I take, because I take 2 damage, I'm down to 3 health. We go to round 4. This is nuts. I have full dex. I'm going to roll cripple. I'm going to roll this for the buckler. I'm going to roll my defense stat. I'm going to roll 3 attack dice. So those are 6 dice right there. That will do. And I'm going to attack the Geophage. Alright, I got the cripple ability, which I'm going to put on the Geophage, so his attack stat is reduced by 1. I have 2 defense, I have a bones, and I have 3 damage, which I'm going to do on the Geophage, which reduces his, takes away his defense and does 1 damage to him. No, it doesn't because he has thick skin 1. However, since I attacked, that got me up to 1.8. I'm going to immediately exhaust my rage die to assassinate the kobold, which gives me my body count up to 1. Dead. I'm going to exhaust my body count to get a health back. And then I'm going to use this minor patch kit backup plan to get another health. So thank you, patches. So this is only attacking me with 1 die. This is only attacking me with 1 die. We're actually somehow in fairly good shape, I think. But both my rage dice are out, so no more assassinating for me. But at least the tracker is done. And we just now have to face the music with these last 2. So this GFA is attacking me with 1 attack die. It's going to have to replace a defense die. It does 1 damage. My shield goes from 2 to 1. 1 defense die replaced. And now this youngin's going to move. It's attacking me with 1 die. It does 1 damage. My shield is out. And it just chills. We go to round 5. So we'll be in fatigue rounds next. Obviously, I need to get this Geophage down to size a little bit. So I'm going to roll 4 attack dice, 1 defense die, and then the extra defense die from the reinforced buckler. And just all against the Geophage because he still has 8 health left, which is absolutely insane. So 4 attack dice. Here's a bones, 1 shield. I rolled 6 damage. 1 shield comes off, thick skin, so we're down to 4 damage. That's a lot though, because he started at 8. And so yeah, now he's down to 4. The first damage I took off him. And I'm going to use the minor patch kit, backup plan, heal. Done. The Geophage is attacking only with 1 die. Going to reset its defense die. 1 and 1. My shield comes out. And now the troll youngin's rolling 1 attack die. 1 damage. This makes me lose a health. We go to fatigue. Everyone loses the health. True damage. 1, 2, and 3. I'm going to roll 4 attack dice and 2 defense dice again. Going after the geophage. Bones. 4 damage. Shield comes off. Thick skin, so 2 damage. He'll die in fatigue like he needs to. And I will use the minor patch kit again. The geophage attacking 1 and 1. That cripple has been huge. He boneses. Great. And now the troll youngin's attacking. He does 1 damage. My shield comes out. We go back to the next fatigue round. The loot die is going to become in place. There. Troll youngin has 1 health left. I lose a health. Cripple die exhausts. Done and done. My turn. I'll spend a dex to roll the loot die, because why the heck not? And I rolled that. Which I wish I would be lying to tell you I remembered what the heck that is. It's a map. I think I put the Ebonite doorway back in the I think I shuffled the Ebonite doorway into the thing, and I think the Ebonite doorway is in my undertow box, which is going to be super fun, kids. Shuffle special encounter Ebonite doorway into the encounter deck. All right. Special encounters. These are not special encounters. It's like the one roll that's gonna make this be interesting. Special encounters here. Oh, maybe. Nope. They're in the other box. I have the some special stuff there that may or may not exist. For anyone who understands that. Special encounters in here. They are. Ebonite doorway. Where are you? Here we go. There's a lot of special encounters in Undertow. Alright. Cool. So this gets, I'm just going to put it on the top of the encounter deck. So that's done. So that was my 1 dex. I have 4 more decks. I'm going to roll these 2 defense die, 3 attack dice. Again, I have the extra dex because of the reinforced buckler. I would not mind 2 bones here. I missed it again. Did not get the bones, unfortunately, so 1 bone's away. I kept using it for the patch kit. I still think that was right. That will go there. And I defeated the troll youngin. Yeah, I'll heal the full at the end. The end of the turn anyway. So no axe collector. I get +1 body count because I defeated the youngin. Great success. Wow. Okay, that was that was insane. I'm going to look at the next loot. Fortunate discovery. Can't take it, unfortunately. So fortunate but unfortunate. And now we're going to get another progress points. We're up to 9 and 2 more. Training stats, my special thing is I'm going to get myself up to 7. And I'm going to take another health, get myself up to 8. These come out. And I will take... Like a wolf is interesting. I mean, it gives you the ability to lash back. It's a little niche. Like a worm, I just find so much more important. That second rage die has been huge, though. So I did that. I could try to do the attack stat, or I can just take strengthen, which is probably more effective. Strengthen does take an active slot, but basically what happens with strengthen is my attack stat would be increased, and for the entire battle. And then if I roll this side with that little blue symbol, I immediately can try to do a attack training attempt in the middle of the battle, which could be pretty huge. So we'll just take that. I mean, it's the same as trying to do a training attempt there, but I kind of like where we're at. So my health is up to 8. My dex is up to 5, attack stats at 4, my defense is at 1, and then between the cripple and the strengthen, I think we can shape. The only thing, if I can just, I use so many bones for the minor patch kit, I didn't get up to the axe collector, but again, surviving was obviously my first priority there. That loot die will go back. We'll put this back at round 1. And I already did a progress point. I got my 2 training points and the loot. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Ebonite doorway is on top. Let's roll this sucker up. I rolled a 1. Alright, here we go. Trust your gut. Rarely do I second guess my gut, but today might be the day. An inevitable battle awaits me up ahead. Oh, by the way, we are on day 9, so we're making really good progress here. We'll see how I want to play this once I get up to 10. I'll probably let it roll for a couple more days just to really beef out Tantrum, make sure I'm exactly where I want to be for the Tyrant battle. An inevitable battle awaits me up ahead, but there are 2 distinctly different camps blocking the way. The first appears to be filled with swarms of underlings and new recruits. The second camp, though less populous, only contains burly and battle-tested foes. While I enjoy hacking and slashing my way through countless Ebon as much as the next gearloc, at some point I will run out of steam. My gut says to second guess my gut, but my gut is also very hungry and now my head hurts. So I'm a sucker for a good old hack and slash. Baddie points would be 9. But it would all be 1-point baddies. I am not facing 9 1-point baddies because for the first 3 rounds of battle, any baddies that are defeated are added to the bottom. No. I've got some speed, time for some kiting. 2 5-point melee baddies. For this battle, you may move up to 3 positions at the end of your turn. That is by far the preferred choice. So let's see what these 5-point baddies are, especially since I've already defeated a solar troll. I've defeated a feather dragon. I defeated like these stout geophage garbage. I defeated the direwolf. So, and now I get a stone golem because, of course, I do. So this dude comes in. He has 7 health. Stone Golem has corrosive and breakable, or corrosive and break, and attacking with 3. It is a bog type baddie. So again, break, if I use an attack die on it, it's broken, which is bad. And corrosive, if it rolls a bones, any defense dice I have after its attack will also be broken and effectively reduce my attack stat, my attack and defense stats accordingly, depending on whether break or corrosive are triggering. So this is a troll enforcer, comes into lane 2, 5 health, rolls 3, 2 defense. It has thick skin 1 and taunt. So taunt is, if it boneses, it puts a taunt die on it, and that means that if I were adjacent to it, I would have to attack it. Not as important in a solo game where positioning, it's pretty easy to just move one over, especially since I'm already working with 5 decks. This die is going to come here. I think it makes sense to just try to get rid of the enforcer, and then I'll worry about the golem. I mean, getting up to 2.8 with the second reach die is a reasonable expectation. And I'm definitely going to be first no matter what I roll because they have pretty low innies. So I rolled a 4. The stone golem has a 3. And the troll enforcer, where's the lane 2 die? The troll enforcer has, it's down here. The troll enforcer only has a 2. Really want to make sure I get my axes this battle. I think it's going to be pretty doable. So I'm going to roll with my 5 decks. Do want to get that up to 6. Body counts at 1. I'm going to roll 4 defense dice. I'm going to roll 3 defense dice, like a kobold, like a worm. No, 3 attack dice, sorry. I'll roll 2 defense dice, 2 attack dice, and I'm going to roll, hopefully this like a worm comes in hard. I got the 1 defense die, I'm going to get a 2nd defense die because of the reinforced buckler. If I can do 2 damage to it and then get a nice, get some poison on it, it will really kind of help me out. The thick skin is going to be rough. but get 1 damage on it. Yeah, that thick skin's actually a thing. Just, they're only attacking me with 6 dice, but I definitely am a little worried about that. And if like a kobold doesn't come in good, that could be pretty bad. Alright, let me get rid of 1 defense die. So the only defense die I'm rolling is because of the reinforced buckler. So like a worm, like a kobold, 3 attack dice, and a defense die because of the buckler. Bam! Nice. So like a worm, we'll go here. I did 3 damage. Thick skin makes it 2. I attacked, so this is going to go to 1.2. Like a kobold came in, which is good because my defense die bones, and that's my turn. Not going to do anything else. I like where we're at. We're now going to go to the stone golem. Stone golem moves down. It's rolling 3 attack dice, 2 defense dice. It rolls bones, 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 so it would corrode any defense dice I still had in active slots. I would have none. It does 3 damage, becomes 1 damage because of like a kobold, and this ticks up to 1.2. Ooh, that's optional, right? Yeah, I may place. I'm going to want to put this poison 2 on the troll enforcer. It's just going to be better. I know that the golem has break, but I want to get these down to 1 baddie, and clearly it's going to be easier for me to kill the troll enforcer. So the enforcer is now going to go. The enforcer is rolling 3 attack dice, 2 defense dice. It does 3 damage, becomes 1 damage because of I'm hardy. This goes to 1.6. It gets defend 2. It would give me, it's going to get a taunt die, but I'm going to actually use my like a worm skill, so I'm going to exhaust that and put a poison 2 on it, and it's just going to slowly fade away over the next 2 rounds. So, which is great because it only has 3 health left. We now go to round 2. I'm first. My dex is 5. Do not want to get hit by him again. There's no point. I'm going to move 1, 2, and 3. My hardy skill goes away. Did he bones on... I think he... Did he bones on both of his shields? He bones, bones, bones. I don't remember. Oh, shoot. Did I forget to put a... He might have bones on... I think he bones on both of his shields on one of his attacks. I mean, he'll roll defense. He'll roll more defense, so it is what it is. I have 2 more decks plus a reinforced buckler. A little worried about health, not immensely so. I could take the body count. Yeah, I can get back to 8 health. Yeah, I'll be fine. I'll be fine. So I'm going to roll strengthen and cripple. They both can go into active slots until I attempt to put them somewhere else. So again, and I roll the reinforced buckler because the defense deck is a reinforced buckler. Great. So +1 to my attack stat, -1 to my defense stat, or -1 to the attack stat of a baddie. When they get adjacent to me, I can put that on them. And I have this 1 defense. I'm going to exhaust. No, I want to exhaust the body count. Do I want to do angry? No, I'll just kind of let everything ride as it is at this point. We now have the stone golem's turn. He moves. He's going to roll 3 attack dice, 2 defense dice. Alright, now he's got some shield. So he's got 3 defense in the future. He does not corrode anything. 4 damage to me. My 1 defense comes out. So we won't corrode anything anyway. I lose a bunch of health. Yeah, that work, I think. So I lose 3 health, which does make me get into breakdown mode. Again, that would not trigger to the end of my round. The Troll Enforcer loses 2 health. This poison die goes down to poison 1. This taunt die comes away. Troll Enforcer moves 1, 2. We go to round 3. I'm going to move 1, 2, 3. I'm going to roll a defense die because of my defense stat, and then another one because of reinforced buckler. Not attacking. Well, I could attack and just not apply. I basically want him to stay there because it's going to block the stone golem. So I'm going to roll 1, 2, 3. So I have 2 more decks left. This is 1. I'll roll 1 attack die just to try to get a bones out of this. I got the 1 bones here. Great. I'm going to use this backup plan to calm down to get this down to 1.8. And then I'm going to immediately trigger the 1.8 to replace that with a 2.0. I'm not going to apply this. Well, I could apply that attack stat, whatever. So it's down to 1 damage, 1 shield. And then I have the 1 shield here. It's the Stone Golem's turn. Stone Golem moves 1, 2. Troll Enforcer's turn. Poison 1 kills the Troll Enforcer. Does not count for my body count because, again, the poison killed it, not me. And then we go to round 4. Still have a defense die there. Oh, beginning of my turn, I would have obviously absolutely put the cripple die on the Stone Golem, so he's actually only rolling 2 dice from now on. Which is fine. I want more bones. Alright, I'm going to move 1. I'm going to roll 4 attack dice and 1 defense die because of the buckler. Again, that 1 defense die is not going to count against me. And I'm just hoping for a lot of bones. Remember, if I apply damage to it, the die is broken, but I can definitely just remove stuff here. But by attacking, I get to tick my raised die up to 2.2. Ooh, 5 damage and a bones and a shield. Oh, my attack stat. I'm still limited by dex. My attack stat's actually 5 here. So if I reduce that, I'll just apply the 1 to reduce the shield down to 1. I'm basically just trying to assassinate this guy anyway. He's rolling 2 dice. He's not going to be able to defeat me with 2 dice. So I will just let the body count and the get angry die ride for now. And the bones ride for now instead of using the patch kit. I think that will make some sense. Yeah, I'm definitely just trying to assassinate this dude. It is the Stone Golem's turn. He's going to attack with just the 2 dice here. He does 2 damage. Both my shields come out. So my attack, my rage die is still only at 2.2, which is probably not ideal. Do need to get it to 2.8 somehow. We go to round 5. I'm going to attack with 4 dice. And I'm going to roll 2 defense dice. I get 1 bones, 2 defense. I'm not applying any damage. I just don't want to break the trigger. That does get me up to 2.4 since I did an attack, even though I'm not applying the dice. And yeah, I'll be able to make this work next turn. The Golem is attacking me with 2 dice. I will use a bones to get 1 health, just to be super safe here. Golem's attacking me with 2 dice, does 2 damage, my shields come out. We go to fatigue rounds. I lose a health, Golem loses the health. I'm going to attack with 4 dice. And these 2 shields. Again, 5 dex plus the buckler. Great. 3 shields. This goes up to 2.6. I'm going to exhaust the Get Angry die to get me up to 2.8. Then I'm going to exhaust the Rage die to assassinate the Stone Golem. Excellent. That gives me another body count. Stone Golem's out. And remember, one thing I didn't do at all this battle is I got to move 3 positions at the end of every one of my turns, and I just totally forgot about that, but I just obviously didn't need it. So just wasn't wasn't a thing. This goes here, these come out. We get a loot and 2 training points. What's the loot? Mixed berries, no thank you. My 2 training points. I will try to get definitely get my dex up to 3. And dex up to 3. And I'll take the like a wolf just to have. It's probably not going to do much better. I mean, anything else I flesh out here. I mean, I'm getting attacks out to 5 could be nice. But remember, all of this is super, tentative because of the limit ability. So I'm not even going to mess with defense anymore. Do want to get my axe litter up to 3 though before I get to this tyrant battle. So getting 4 bones is going to be really important. I mean, I could just use a rage die to do that, but obviously I had 2 5-point baddies and I wanted to assassinate the stone golem. It just made life a lot easier. So we're going to get 8 health for Tantrum. This is out. We go to day 10. We have 10 progress points. So in theory, I could go after Duster right now. Not going to happen. We're going to roll a die. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Would not mind rolling an 8 for sure. That Ebonite Doorway would be super nice. I rolled a 5. It's like an 8, just 3 less. So this is it. The Sky Bridge. It's a cakewalk. At least that's what I tell myself as I hang on for dear life. 1,000 arrow lengths up in the sky. Unfortunately, this ancient rope bridge connecting the 2 mountain ridges is more ancient than it is bridge. There's an unknown party on my tail and a trading post waiting beyond the ridge ahead. Only seconds remain to make one of 2 ill-advised choices. I love ill-advised choices. They're great. I could turn and fight on the tangle of rotting rope and wood. The other option is hightail to the other side while dodging arrows from behind. If I make it, I can cut the ropes and send my pursuers on a one-way trip to the bottom of the canyon. So my first option is I line them up and try not to throw up. Baddie points, it'd be 10 plus 2, because it'd be 12, so it'd be 2 5s, 2 1s. Battle is restricted to lane 1 for both sides, and you fight only one baddie at a time, or scramble across and cut the bridge. Baddie points, reveal baddies. For every ranged baddie, roll 2 attack dice and remove hit points from your gearloc. You must survive or encounter success. That sounds easy. So, because I have 8 health, so reveal baddies. So I'm just scrambling across the bridge because I don't need the loot, so who cares? So it's just going to be 2 baddies. If they're ranged, they roll 2 attack dice. And if they're not, they go to the bottom of the battle queue because they're going to be non-defeated baddies. Are you ranged? You are not ranged. That was the Griffin. What do you call it? The Griffin Howler. And the next 5-point baddie. Yeah, this is kind of nice. I'll take it. This is not ranged. This was a Troll Sage. So encounter success. I did survive. That's a fun, like when you get this, when you have like 4 baddie points, like it's a fun battle because you're just facing 4 1-pointers. You would never choose the ranged option. It just depends on who the tyrant is though too, and knowing what's in the thing. But when I had 8 points here, obviously it wouldn't have made much sense to not just do that. I mean, I like the battles, but I've had a ton of battles already, so having just, hey, get 2 more training points without much of a sweat is really nice. So that was day 10. We got 11 progress points. I'm going to scout as my recovery option. I got a 6. I will scout a 5-pointer. Again, with the 6, I could scout a 20-pointer. There's no point. The 5-pointer is a break and decoy. 6 health, 4, 2 attack dice, 2 defense dice. You could do a lot worse. The decoy is a little annoying, but I don't really dislike this. It's melee. So this will be the next 5-point baddie to come in. It is a another Splice and Dice baddie. It is a sculpted guru. I am pulling the Splice and Dice baddies like crazy. Fine, so that's done, but now I still need to take these 2 training points. I will get up to... I'll try to train my attack stat again. I succeed, so that's up to 5. And... Dex or health, they're both pretty good. I'll get 7 dex. That will let me let me do a lot of things with my skills here. Do want to get that health up at least one more time though before the Tyrant battle. So that's done. We go to day 11. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 more things here. What do I roll? It's a 1. So really trying to get this Ebonite doorway. I mean, without the Ebonite doorway there, I might have just gone for this sucker, but you know. Oh, it's the gearloc child, the frickin' worst. The day began innocently enough. I encountered a rare gearloc family living a quiet life at the foot of a hill. Their child has been kidnapped by raiders days ago. Given our scarce population, I immediately set out on a successful rescue mission. Now I'm back, and the parents are applying heavy pressure. Our little one will be safer with you than with us. It looks like you could use a companion anyway. You could use someone to help you scavenge food and water. Truth be told, the raiders paid me to take this little gearloc back. The gold coins they handed me came with a warning. This youngin' was unlucky. My skills, blah, 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 so I can reduce my hit points out by 1. So basically my skills are my companions, okay? That's lame, but really, no thanks. The father is cross and berates you for your decision. You feel bad because you got sick from feeling bad. You lose a hit point stat. I'm probably going to do that. Otherwise, I can choose to exhaust 3 skill dice to exhaust at the start of my next battle. But my next battle might be against a Tyrant, so like I can't risk that. So I'm going to lose a hit point. I get a training point. I'm going to get the hit point back. Whatever. And I'll take the progress point. We're up to 12. So day 12, I think it's time for this Tyrant. Ugh. Yeah, it's just going to have to be. We'll make it work. Unless I roll for the Ebonite doorway, right? So we're going to go to day 12. We have 12 progress points. If I roll a 6, great. I'm definitely taking the Ebonite doorway because that's just lots of progress points, if training points. Otherwise, we'll do the Tyrant battle instead, which will give me 2 chances at it. So I rolled a 2. It's just out of reach. No thanks. Done. Tyrant encounter. Here we come. So I'm going to take the rest of this deck away because we're going to have 2 shots to defeat Duster between day 12 and day 13. Duster, I never did story time with Greg about Duster. I'm so sorry, Duster. I did not mean to offend. Duster has only recently risen to power. Duster seems to have her own agenda when it comes to the Ebon. She already amassed quite the following after quietly assassinating the previous ruler of Ebonheart and claiming his followers as her own to command. Constantly searching for something, Duster remains a mystery, I'd say. Game length, she is the longest game in the base game for sure. The final conflict, the number of baddies equal to party size. So the number of baddies equal to party size. Party of 1 or 2 use 1 point baddies. So the baddie queue is just 1 point baddie. Okay, and we're adding Duster to the top. Great. We get a clay golem. Seems appropriate for Duster somehow, some way, I guess. I don't know. Clay golem has break. Assassinate will work very well on his clay golemness. Add Duster to the top of the baddie queue. Again, her skills are all here. She rolls 3 attack dice. She has her Tyrant die, 2 defense. She is shrouded. So shrouded, she only be targeted by adjacent baddies. She also has limit. Duster's target immediately removes a stat die from their gearloc map for the remainder of this battle. If health or defense dice are removed, adjust hit points or active defense to reflect the new max. She also has hide if she rolls 2 bones. She cannot be targeted until her next turn. So again, please don't roll 2 bones. Tyrant die, cloak and dagger. If 2 or more gearlocs are on the battle mat, so basically this will have no effect on us in a solo game, but there's Duster's dagger. Place a bleed effect die on any target Duster does damage to this round. That could be really bad because bleed is the worst. So again, bleed, we would put this on us. Where is it? Where are you, bleed? Bleed, where are you? I'll find it. Is it on the poison die? Nope. Nope. It is on the Terrify die. Great. Yeah, the flight die. So basically bleed 1 every turn. Beginning of my turn, I lose 1 health. Now, limits bag is it's removing dice. Obviously, I'm going to remove I would remove the defense die first. A reinforced buckler will help that, and then we'll see about what I want to do from there. So it's not great. We are going to want to get a big, chunk out of Duster as soon as we can. But she gets added to the top of the Baddie queue, and remember she has that little ability here where she can move diagonally. So no matter where we are, she's definitely going to get to us, and limit's going to affect us right off the bat. I'm going to put this here. We've been very lucky not to have a lot of goblins. We didn't really have to worry about mischief at all. I think it was like the first round I think we dealt with it, and that was it. So Duster's definitely at the top of the any queue. She's a 6+, so cannot roll higher than her. I'm going to put that on her. And this is going to be round 1. And where are her? There. Sorry about that. She'll get a, I gave the blue chip to the Golem, which was very wrong of me. So she comes in at the top. I'll just put it at a 6. I'm going to roll mine. It doesn't matter. I'm going to be before the Golem. Of course, I rolled a 5. And the Golem gets the lane 2 marker, melee. And the Golem is going to be a 2. Yeah, you lose the defense stat first. Body count's up to 2. Should be pretty doable. Remember the rage, the 2.0 range die is not going to help us at all. It doesn't defeat a Tyrant. And even if I had the 3.0, it wouldn't defeat a Tyrant. That would only defeat a 20-point Baddie. So I might as well stand here. She's going to whack me anyway. It doesn't matter. Great. So she's rolling 3 attack dice, 2 defense dice, and here, hopefully she does not get bleed right off the bat, because that could make this a long day. Dex is 7, attack is 5, body count 2, backup plan, extension is still there. Great. So she's rolling these 6 dice. She could hide, obviously, which would be super bad. And she has to be attacked from adjacent. So we're gonna do the limit now. My defense die comes out. What does she roll? Oh, she does make me bleed. So that's a thing. She does 4 damage. So this goes up to 1.8. Speaking of which, yeah, let me have actually started there. She would move. She still would move too, because obviously I knew that was a strong likelihood, and I want to basically assassinate him without wasting any dex. So 4 damage. She gets 1 bones. Oh, shoot. And she has 1 shield. I need to clarify something. So bleed happens at the start of my turn. So I think... wondering if I could use this. I think I can use the rage die. Gearlocs turn sequence. Okay, you can use loot at any time during your turn, even before triggering effects. I think that would apply to my skills as well. Just making sure about this. Rage die. Each turn, he must increase. At any time during Tantrum's turn, he may trigger his active rage die and exhaust it. We're going to do that. So I'm going to exhaust this die to assassinate the clay golem. That gets my body count up to 3. Keep these dice down here and the numbers they are. Sorry, so it's 4, 4, 2, 1. I can remember that. We're good. All right, so my raised die is out. I killed the clay golem. I lose a health now. Again, you could do stuff at any time during your turn, so even before triggering effects. So now I have to trigger the bleed, so I lose this health. So had I waited after, because I got 4 health, oh, she did 4 damage to me. I never actually took the damage away. That would help, Greg. Stop cheating. So yeah, I lost 4, and then I lost another one because of the bleed. It's like, why do I have so much health left? So if had I taken the damage first, remember this would have gone to breakdown mode, and that wouldn't have helped anybody. I'm going to exhaust body count, get this back up to 3. And now I'm going to roll like a wolf, like a worm. My 5 attack stat, that's my full dex, but then the reinforced buckler goes into place even though my defense is 0 because I just lost the 1. So let me roll this and just basically trying to take Duster down as soon as possible. The bleed die stays there. Big roll! Cool. So like a worm comes in, like a wolf misses. I get a bones, which I'm immediately going to exhaust to heal 1 using the minor patch kit. Because again, that bleed's going to start adding up. I do 3 damage and I have a shield. The 3 damage is going to knock her shield off and then take 2 more damage off of her as well. Her Tyrant die is now useless to me, right? She's already making me bleed, and I don't have more than 2 more gearlocs, so her cloak and dagger effect also is not going to do much to me as well. Oh, I had another die. I rolled 5 dice, right? Yeah, 1. So this must have also been there. So she's actually down another health. So I rolled 4 damage. I didn't roll any 2s. I rolled 1 bones and 4 1s. So she lost 4 health. She lost 3 health because she had 1 defense, and now she's down to 6 health. Clay Golem is out. We go to round 2. Duster is attacking me with 3 dice, rolling 2 defense. That wolf would have been nice. This did not come in. She gets 3 defense now. She does 3 damage. My 1 shield comes off. I lose 2 more health. But since I lost health, I'm going to do like a worm. I'm going to put a poison 2 on her. Again, she could have rolled her Tyrant die. It doesn't matter. I'm already bleeding. And again, so I'm just going to take this out because it has no more effect. The final conflict. Yes, the final conflict is without your silly Tyrant die. Duster, how do you feel about that? But she does limit me. And oof. I'm going to let her limit my health, so this would immediately go down to 4. I think that's the right move because I just want to try to end her as soon as possible. She already has the 2 poison on her, and I don't want to lose my dex down to 3, and I have a lot of other possibilities here. So, my turn, I'm rolling bleed triggers. I'm down to 3 health. I'm going to roll 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 attack dice, like a kobold, like a wolf. That's 7, and I can get a defense die. Strengthen and cripple I just don't think are worth it. Obviously this bleed die makes things really precarious. Cripple, I am generally likely to hit. Yeah, if I can get her down to 2 dice, that would make life a lot easier. Between cripple and kobold, one of those 2 should come in. So again, these are my 7 dice. Here's my 1 defense die from the buckler. Bam. Ooh, bonesy bones. All right, cripple. She only has a defense stat, an attack stat of 2 now. Like a kobold comes in. I got 4 bones. 1, 2, 3, 4. And I did 2 damage. What a garbage roll. Yeah, I'll keep like a wolf there. Axe Selector could be useful-ish. Yikes. Alright, I'm going to just reduce her 1 defense stat down to a 1 using one of those attack and not use the other. And I think I just need to heal. I don't think Axe Selector makes a lot of sense for me. But I'm going to lose... Oh, man. Wow, that was a garbage roll. It's really bad. Yeah, I'm going to heal 1. Actually, I think I keep the Like a Wolf just for the chance of fighting back. Although she places defense stat. Oh, could be useful. Yeah, rolling that bad was not good. I'm going to heal 1 to get back up to 4 health. I have no defense, but she's only rolling 2 dice, and I'm like a kobold. Alright, so that should work. We go to round 3. She's limiting me again. I'm going to lose... Oh, she can move diagonal, so it doesn't even matter. Having a 5 attack stat and a 3 dex doesn't make any sense. So I'm going to lose my 2 attack stats. She takes 2 damage because of the poison. She's down to 4 health. That was bad. She's rolling 3 attack dice. She only rolls 1 bones, otherwise she would have been hitting. She would have hid. I take 1 damage because of like a kobold. My turn, I take another damage because of the bleed. I'm going to roll 3 attack dice and like a wolf. And the strengthen's not going to matter because I'm still limited by dex. So I won't even bother, although it could roll the bones. So maybe that makes some sense. And I'll roll a defense stat. Really wanted to get like a wolf. If I had to like a wolf on me, she loses her shields, which would have been amazing. But unfortunately, that did not work out. So this is round 3, yeah, because I lost 3 of those. Wow, this is getting... It's got a lot closer than it should have been, man. I rolled really bad on those 2 attacks. Roll! Alright, like a wolf comes in. That's a good roll. +1 on my attack stat, but who cares? 1 defense. I do 4 damage. So I take away... Oh, she should have only rolled 3 dice, and I rolled 2 dice, and I had her roll 3, but it didn't matter. I had like a kobold on anyway. So we'll assume that she got at least 1 damage on me. So 4 damage, her 2 shields come off, and this comes off. And then I'm going to use the minor patch kit to get a health. Alright, we go to round 4. Limiting, she takes away my dex. I'm back to my starting stats. She's going to roll 2 dice. I have 1 shield, and then I have... Oh, and she's going to re-roll 2 defense dice as well. She takes a damage because of her poison. So she's down to 1 health, and this poison die comes off. Sure. 3. Oh, we apply her defense dice first. Oh, I lost. Oh, that's so gross. That's really bad, guys. Yeah, that's really unfortunate. She does 3 damage. My shield comes off. She does 2 more damage. And then I lash back. She's down to 1 defense. And then on my turn, so the lashback happens. On my turn, the bleed makes me lose my last health. That was really gross. All right, let's try it again. 4, 4. Yeah, I just rolled so bad. She's basically 1 health away. There's really no reason that didn't work out, except for just getting pretty unlucky with that 1 attack roll there. So this is 4, 4, 2, and 1. We're on day 13. It's our last chance. Duster is going to be at the top. We get another 1-point baddie. I mean, the fact that she rolled bleed right off the bat, you know, and that's only happening 1/3 of the time, that just made that super hard. My cripple comes back. My strengthen comes back. Like a kobold, like a wolf. Yeah, and had to like a wolf actually hit one of the first 2 times, I would have been able to beat her on the last turn. So yeah, a lot of things that just didn't go super well. She's going to get back to 9 health. And we have day 13. Nothing like leaving yourself 0 margin, kids. Ding. Fortunately, my body count's down to 0, so it's going to be a little bit harder to do it this time. But I still have what I need to do it. I just need to roll better with these attack dice for sure. This will go here, and we need a 1-point baddie. Again, it's party 1 or 2, just get 1-point baddie. It is the Troll Romper. Thick Skin 1, Careless. It does only roll 1 attack stat, and it's similarly going to be at the bottom of the inning meter. Shouldn't the wolf be exhausted from the previous roll? If you don't apply it, it doesn't matter. So this is from Yini Moss. So you can choose not to apply it. Most skills, when you roll, I chose not to use that ability, right? So there's like a worm, like a kobold, and like a wolf. I chose not to use it until there. So you might be thinking like a worm. Like the worm was exhausted when I placed the poison die. Like a wolf, every time I rolled it, I just kept rolling bones. So I just kept not using it, and I just kept putting it back. And then when I rolled it, I finally applied it. But again, it was just a little bit too little, too late. So it doesn't matter what I roll. I'm going to be second. And then we have this dude here. So yeah, if you have any questions about that, any, just let me know, and I'll kind of round it out. So hopefully I do not bleed again, because that was super unfortunate. So Duster's going to move. She's rolling 3 attack dice, 2 defense dice. And what do we have here? Well, she's taking my defense die out. That limits brutal. She does not make me bleed, but she does get 2 bones, so she's hiding. So I cannot attack her. So I'm just going to put like an untargetable thing on her. Yikes. That's unfortunate. At least I'm not bleeding. She does 2 damage. Oof. Wow. And she gets the 1 shield. But she's hiding. That's bad. I take 2 damage. That gets my rage die up to 1.4. This would have come out from last game. Alright, my turn. Well, I could try to get the second rage die. Yeah, I think I just attack the Troll Romper. I'm going to roll 3 attack dice. He's got thick skin. 4 attack dice. I'm going to have this from the Reinforced Buckler. So I have 3 more. I'm going to get like a worm, like a kobold, like a worm, like a wolf, and cripple. Those are my 8 dice. I'm attacking the Romper. Alright, like a worm doesn't come in, but like a wolf does with 3. Huge. I did 5 damage. That becomes 4 because of thick skin. That's enough to defeat the Romper, which gets my body count up to 1. I'm going to use that body count now to get a health back. Since I'm attacked, since I did an attack, I'm at 1.6. I do not want to use that cripple result, and I have this 1 shield. Okay. Yeah, so I didn't roll any bones. I didn't roll any bones except on my skill dice, and I don't want to use either of those results, so I'm going to have them back for next. And this is for the like a worm. So I did not get the poison, unfortunately, either. We go to round 2. Duster's going to limit me. Oh, man. I think we let her take my attack stat. Oof. Losing the health is going to be just a bad idea, especially if she poisons me. Or especially if she makes me bleed. Yeah, I'm going to take away the attack stat. So now my attack stat's only 3. Now if I get the strength in, I can get it back to 4, but again, I'm going to be losing this stuff anyway. She's attacking me with... this is gonna... I have those 3 bones there. Wonder if I take the cripple and I exhaust and I get the axe collector. Might make some sense. She's attacking 3. Between her attacking 3 and attacking 4 doesn't matter if I have kobold. Let me do that last turn. I'm gonna use the cripple for the bones, and then because if she's gonna take too much damage away from me, it just doesn't matter. I don't want to break down. I'm gonna use this to get my axe collector up to 3, especially with that lashback. I think that will allow me to do a lot of damage to her, even without rolling attack dice. Remember though, the axe collector, the axe will only work when I'm non-adjacent, which I might go non-adjacent this turn, just for kicks. Alright, so she's rolling 3 attack dice, only 1 more defense die, and re-rolling her Tyrant die, so she's rolling 5 dice. Yunamoy says, wow, didn't know that, thanks. If you roll a med pack skill die and the result is a 1 hit point heal instead of 3, you can choose not to heal and place that skill back in the slot. Yeah, I've been playing all wrong. Yeah, so the only exceptions to that are like Boomer's grenade skills, you have to use the result, and Patch's result, if you get the 1 true damage to yourself, you have to use that result. But most skills you can re-roll, like attack dice, you can take or not take the result. There's a lot of flexibility with that. So these are Boomer's roll in the second round. Oof. So she does not. Oh, she hides again. Oh. Oh, it's crazy too. She would have only done 1 damage to me. Wow. Okay, so she doesn't get any more defense, but she hides, which just means that I can't target her. But she takes my 1 shield out, does 1 damage to me, lashback comes out, and at least I do 3 damage to her. She's down to 6. Oh, stop hiding. Stop. This is not good. This isn't a... So I can do the axe collector on her, even if she's hidden. Oh, and actually the lashback would have knocked off her shield and then did 2 damage to her. So she's down to 7. That's to be totally fair here. My turn. I have 7 decks. I can't target her. So I'm going to move. She has the ability to get anywhere in the mat anyway because she can move diagonally. Because she's freaking Duster. I'm going to use my axe collector to get that down to 2. So I can't target her, but it doesn't matter. I can still do 2 damage to her. Is that the untargetable die? Why do I feel like I'm messing up? That's the flight die. What's the untargetable die? There is another die for untargetable. It's it's like the olive branch. Where are you, olive branch? Where are you? That's the stun die. Down here? Weaken. Disable. Terrify. Here we go. Put the right die on her. So she's untargetable. So I used one of my decks to move. I used the axe collector to get her down to 5 health. I'm going to roll like a kobold, like a worm. 1 defense die because of the reinforced buckler. Another defense die. Oh, I don't even have another defense stat. And I'll roll strengthen. So I'm just rolling these 3 dice. Oh, because I exhausted cripple, right? So cripple should be exhausted over here. My rage die is exhausted over here. And then the lashback die is exhausted over here. Come on, buddy. So 1 defense. I get another axe, which seems pointless. I get 1 more attack stat, so I'd have an attack stat of 4, but if my dex is only 3, that's not going to matter. I didn't roll good on like a worm or like a kobold. Oh, that's a bad roll, kids. That's a really bad roll. can't use like a kobold for sure. And I can't use like a worm. I'm just not going to have the ability. Ah, this has gone really poorly. I'm not even taking advantage of the minor patch kit. Wow. Okay. Do I even want to use this? I think so. I think so. Alright, we go to round 3. Duster is going to kill me again, I think. This is nuts. Just rolling really bad. I was rolling really good all day. I really can't complain too much, but wow, this is unfortunate. So she's going to limit me. Think I take the health? I don't think I can just voluntarily give away 2 health. So then I'm just going to put this strengthen back if that's what I was doing. So Dex is down to 3. That's crazy. She rolls this 6 dice. So doesn't, she's hiding again. Doesn't make me bleed. No defense though, so that's helpful. 3 damage. My 1 shield comes out, 2 more damage. My Dex is 3. I'm going to move 1, use the Axe Collector. She has no defense, so she's down to 3 health herself. Man, these have been crazy rolls. I have 2 more Dex. I'm going to roll like a kobold, like a worm. And I'm going to roll this 1 defense die because a reinforced buckler. I have 1 more axe. She's down to 3 health. She keeps rolling bones like a maniac. What's up? Alright, let me get a like a worm. Nice. Like a kobold comes in, like a worm, 2 poison. So we actually have a way to get 3 true damage on her. The question is, can we survive that long? The like a kobold will certainly help. We go to round 4. She comes in. She loses the untargetable thing. She is going to make me lose my health. I'm at 4 health. That's fine. That's where I was. She's attacking me with 3 attack dice, 2 defense dice. She hasn't made me bleed yet, but she also hasn't let me target her. But somehow we've got her down to 3 health, which is super magical. So these 3 attack dice. I'm like a kobold though, so I can only lose 1. Oh, let me not. Like a kobold, like a worm trigger if I have a defense, so let me not accept that defense result. So I'm going to lose 1 health for sure. She does make me bleed. She totally isn't targetable, which is absolutely insane. But she got no defense again. So I'm going to put, I'll get 1 damage. I'm bleeding. I'm going to exhaust like a worm to put a bleed 2 on her, or a poison 2 on her. And she just did the 1 damage to me because the 3 became a 1 because I was like a kobold, which is amazing. She has no defense again. So these that using those 4 bones to get that axe collector in the first turn turned out to be the absolute right choice. I take 1 damage because I'm bleeding. I'm going to move to be non-adjacent. I'm exhausting my last axe. I do 2 damage to her. And my like a kobold exhausts. I'm going to roll 1 defense die because of the reinforced buckler. It's defend 2. We go to round 5. She takes 2 damage because of the poison. And we have proven victorious! Woo! Alright. That was not the way I drew it up in my head. But that's why you sometimes give yourself that extra day and to give yourself a second chance at it. And just made it work, man. Those like a... What do they call that profession for him? What are you? Tantrum, what is your profession? Tantrums, oh, it's right on here. It's the mimic profession. Yeah, that mimic profession is super strong. You know, the skirmisher profession just ended up not doing all that much for us, although the cripple was pretty helpful. You know, as much as I was talking trash about the trove loot, that +1 proved really helpful in a couple of battles. Obviously, didn't help me all that much in the final here. And then the reinforced buckler was a gift from the heavens above. So I am bleeding. I am down to 2 health, but Duster is very dead, and that's it. That is the finale for Too Many Bones, the base game. Never gonna play it again, except we'll be back. So I do want to do a lot more Too Many Bones. I have some ideas for 2 gearloc playthroughs, which I think will be fun. 2 is the generally considered the hardest player count in Too Many Bones. I think I have one more Tyrant I haven't featured from Undertow, so I want to get a playthrough against Nobulus. That might be two-handed indeed. And then I have all the Splice and Dice Tyrants. Now, we heard a lot about Splice and Dice as far as being able to make your own baddie. There are 5, little known fact, kids, there are 5 ready-made tyrants. Ready-made tyrants. I'm having a hard time speaking. I'm so excited about this win. Ready-made tyrants that all have that are all pretty cool. So I want to actually just go through the Splice and Dice Tyrants as they came, and then in the future, like months from now, maybe I'll start doing some of the how to build your own Tyrant. But if you're curious about Splice and Dice, there's a number of playthroughs already on YouTube that are about building your own Tyrant. So I'm more excited to feature, again, the ready-made Tyrants that came with that box. Tons of content in that box. I was pretty excited when I opened it. And we saw a ton of those baddies here today. That was absolutely crazy. I feel like there's only, I dumped this bag 3 times and kept putting them back, and these Splice and Dice Tyrants, baddies kept coming up. All right, here's a couple more. All right, they're not all out, but that was absolutely nuts. But Duster's a pretty fun Tyrant. You're gonna see a wide variety of baddies that come out. The fact that she uses every baddie in the box in that base game, and then especially as you start diversifying content, you got a lot of options. So every game will play very, very different against her. And that's, pretty much true with all the Tyrants, but especially I think with Duster, just because she's using all of those baddie types. Moose says, good game. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Thank you for the chat. It's been a fun experience. It's been it's fun. I always look. I have my issues with Too Many Bones. I still love this game, and one of the things that I find that's a detriment to it is like some of the gameplay isn't always even, right? You'll have some games that just it just doesn't come together in an interesting way. You get some encounters that are just like, eh. This was definitely not one of those, and being able to do that live is always like super exciting, for me, and I think it just helps, like, when I'm like when the lights are on and I'm like, all right, Greg, like, come on, Mr. Solo playthroughs, like, let's make sure we get this right, and at least put a good showing up. Definitely some battles early I thought we did not have a chance. Was excited to pull those off, and Tantrum is just has like so many tools, like that assassinate tool. It's like, how am I gonna get 8 damage on that stone golem? It's like, all right, well then it becomes another game. How am I gonna get up to 2.8 on my rage dice so I can just assassinate the sucker? That's the better question. And then just kind of using, like, in that end, was like, all right, let me get the axe collector. When I got that axe collector, I thought maybe it would help give me like 2 damage to Duster. I did not think that axe collector was going to give me 6 damage to Duster, because she just kept rolling bones. But that flexibility was super nice. Like, oh, she's untargetable. Who cares? I can still move non-adjacent and get 2 damage on her, because again, that is a skill that does not require a target. So, but yeah, that was super cool, and I definitely made a mistake earlier in the round. That there was one of those battles I should have made sure I got up to 3 to, giving myself more options as far as tax collector as axe collector goes. Tax collector, wow, it's a whole, it's a whole, that's two true damage, but in a whole different way. So axe collector, and you made sure I had that. So you really want to kind of be cognizant. Oh, end of the round, how do I want to spend my stuff? And I think I was just using so many bones on that backup plan to let me survive that way, where I probably should have just said, all right, let me make sure I have 4 bones, get to the axe collector up to 3, and I was in a pretty safe spot. I think there was only that one roll we were like 1 away from dying. Obviously, the first attempt at Duster did not go as planned. The second one was more, also did not go as planned, but we managed to pull it off anyway. So that is that. Don't see any comments in the chat. I am off next week. Off as in not doing a live playthrough, but I will have 3 playthroughs published between now and next Sunday, or the Monday or the Tuesday. I don't know. Sunday plus or minus, or plus 1 or 2, we'll see. So I do have a playthrough of Final Girl that I'm publishing on Sunday. I have a Mage Knight I'm publishing next Wednesday, and then I have another game the Sunday after that. I forget. Space Empires 4X, maybe, I think, is up next. So look out for that. My next live playthrough will be in 2 weeks, where I'll be doing a double header of Arkham Horror, the card game. I have one Barkham Horror, because we're going to be right around April Fool's, so that felt appropriate. And then we have Tony Morgan going up in the blob that ate everything. So super excited about that. If you want to see exactly what's coming up in the schedule beyond that, or at least get a sneak peek, you can go on my Patreon page, link in the description below. I have a public post where I put not only the schedule for March, which is up there right now, but I have a sneak peek for what's coming down the pipe in April, and I will update that about every month. And that's it. Don't see any more comments. Anything comes up, question, comments, epiphanies, put them in the comment section below. I'll get back to you as soon as I can, like I always do. And until next time, thanks for joining me, and happy gaming.